Today's episode of True 911 calls are disturbing and unthinkable. This is a compilation of parents who have killed their children instead of protecting them. Let's dive in. A Washington state man blew up his house, killing him and his 2 sons. This happened a few days after the court judge ruled against him in a custody hearing. An anguished call from the caseworker handling the case came in after reporting that she was smelling gasoline. Moments later, an explosion ripped through the normally quiet neighborhood.
Hey, I'm on a supervised visitation for a court-ordered visit, and something really weird has happened. The kids went into the house, and the biological parent, whose name is Josh Powell, will not let me in the door. What should I do?
What's the address?
It's 8119, and I think it's 89th. I don't know what the address is.
Okay. That's pretty important for me to know.
Sorry, I can't. Just a minute. Let me get in my car and see if I can find it. Nothing like this has ever happened before at these visitations, so I'm really shocked. And I could hear one of the kids crying, but he still wouldn't let me in. Okay, it is but I think I need help right away. He's on a very short lease with CSHS, and CPS has been involved. And this is the craziest thing. He looked right at me and closed the door. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. I'm just waiting to know where you are.
Okay. It's 8119 189th Street, Port East, Puyallup, 98375. And I'd like to pull out of the driveway because I smell gasoline and he won't let me in.
You want to pull out of the driveway because you smell gasoline, but he won't let you...
He won't let me in.
He won't let you out of the driveway?
He won't let me in the house.
Whose house is it?
Got the kids in the house and he won't let me in. It's a supervised visit.
I understand. Whose house is it?
Josh Powell.
Okay, so you don't live there, right?
No, I don't. No, I'm contracted to the state to provide supervised visitation.
I see. Okay. And who is there to exercise their visitation?
I am. And the visit is with Josh Powell.
And who supervises?
And he is the husband that I supervise.
So you supervise and you're doing the visit?
Yeah,
you're supervising yourself?
I supervise myself. I'm the supervisor here.
Wait a minute. If it's a supervised visit, you can't supervise yourself. If you're the visitor.
I do supervise myself. I'm the supervisor for the supervised visit.
Okay, well, aren't you the one making the visit? Or is there another parent that you're supervising?
No, I'm the one that supervises. I pick up the kids as their grandparent.
Yes. And then who visits with the children?
Josh Powell.
Okay, so you're supposed to be there to supervise Josh Powell's visit with the children.
Yes, that's correct.
And
And he's the husband of missing Susan Powell. This is a high-profile case.
How did he gain access to the children before you got there?
I was one step in back of them.
Okay, so they went into the house and then he locked you out.
Yeah, he shut the door right in my face.
All right. Now, your last name?
My name is Elizabeth Griffin Hall, and the kids have been in there by now approximately 10 minutes. And he knows this is a supervised visit. 2. Braden is 5, and Charlie is 7.
And the dad's last name?
Powell, Powell.
His first name?
His first name is Josh.
Black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Native?
He's white.
Date of birth?
I don't know. He's about 39.
How tall?
5'10", 150 pounds.
Did you notice what he was wearing?
No, I didn't notice what he was wearing.
Is he alone then, or is anybody
I don't know. I couldn't get in the house.
Are you in a vehicle now or on foot?
I'm in a vehicle. I'm in a Prius, a 2010 Prius.
What color
with the doors locked. But he hasn't opened the door. I rang the doorbell and everything.
What color
I begged him to let me in.
Elizabeth, please listen to my questions. What color is the Toyota Prius?
Gray, dark gray.
And the license number?
I don't know. I can look.
All right, we'll have somebody look for you there.
Okay, how long will it be?
I don't know, ma'am. They have to respond to emergency, life-threatening situations first. The first available deputy.
Well, this could be life-threatening. He went to court on Wednesday, and he didn't get his kids back. And this is really, I'm afraid for their lives.
Okay, has he threatened the lives of the children previously?
I have no idea.
All right, we'll have the first available deputy contact you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hello?
Hi, ma'am. Were you calling about the fire in the 8200 block of
Yes, he
188th Street,
exploded
Courtney?
the house.
Ma'am,
Yes,
do you know
he
the
exploded the house.
okay? Do you know the exact address of the house, or are you?
Yes, it's 8119 189th Street, Court East,
Okay.
2 hours.
Okay. Stay on line. Do you know if anyone's in the house?
Yes, there was a man and
Okay.
2 children. I just dropped off the children and he wouldn't let me in the door.
Okay. Stay on line for the fire department. Okay. I'm going to get them on the line. Do not hang up. Hold on.
And people are saying there's not somebody here, but I was just there and there is somebody here. There's 2 little boys in the house and they're 5 and 7 and there's an adult man. He has supervised visitation and he blew up the house and the kids. Kids and the husband and the father were in the house? Yeah. Yes, he slammed the door in my face. So I kept knocking. I thought it was a mistake. I kept knocking, and then I called 911. You saw him go back into the house in the flame, right before the flame? He didn't ever leave the house. He just opened the door. The kids were one step ahead of me. They're 5 and 7. They were one step ahead of me, and he slammed the door in my face. And you think he might have done this intentionally? Yeah.
Thank you very much, fireman. What is your name, please?
I'm Elizabeth Griffin Hall, and I'm the supervisor.
Okay, hold on. Elizabeth, hold on just a moment. Ma'am? Okay, so your last name is Griffin what?
Griffin Hall, Griffin Hall, Hall.
Okay. And your phone number is 360-990-9955 is your personal cell number. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct.
Where are you at right now?
I'm at 81112 on the same court.
Okay, so you're waiting down the street at 8112 109th Street Court, 189th Street Court East.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you in your car?
I was in my car. I'm standing outside it right now.
Okay. Is that your home? Is that your home address?
No, that's not my home
Okay.
address. I was a supervised visitation coordinator. I picked the children up.
What is this person's name?
His name is Josh Powell. Just a minute, the sheriff's here. Let me
Okay.
tell him the
Go ahead and talk.
in the house.
Go ahead and talk to the officer, ma'am.
Elizabeth Griffin Hall dropped off the 2 boys, 7-year-old Charles and 5-year-old Braden, at Joshua Powell's home for what was supposed to be a supervised visit. Powell left his sons inside the house, but then slammed shut and locked the door, preventing her from entering. Griffin Hall frantically called 911 to report that she could hear one of the kids crying from inside the house. She told the operator that she wanted to move her car out of the driveway because she smelled gas coming from the residence, and then asked for police to be sent to the home. Moments later, the Powell's house was engulfed in flames. Powell had been a person of interest and under investigation in the disappearance of his 28-year-old wife Susan Powell from their West Valley City, Utah home in December 2009. A news journalist asked him for his version of the events that fateful night Susan went missing.
A lot of times I just go camping with my boys, not anything big. I just go overnight and, we do s'mores and stuff like that. And so I just went with the boys. I was planning to do some s'mores in the morning, and then we did. And then when we got home, on the way home, I found out that people were worried about us and that we were missing.
Chuck and Judy Cox, Susan's parents, never believed his version of what happened to their daughter. Authorities searched the area in the central Utah desert but came up empty-handed. In July 2008, less than a year before her disappearance, Susan had been advised by a lawyer to record a video detailing her possessions and her life with her husband. The lengthy video starts off with the missing woman foreshadowing what would happen. For most of it, she's walking around the house listing expensive items that they would need to replace in the event of damage, but one snippet was particularly chilling in retrospect.
This is all of Josh's RC car stuff. You are with me. And I had necklaces too. I don't know where those are. I just got in a rage, as you can see, and broke this. There's duds and pearls and opals in there. Broke this and threw all my DVDs and made a mess. Because he was angry at me. This was about a year or two back.
Although he was never charged or arrested, Powell lost full custody of his sons after his father, Stephen, was arrested and charged with 14 counts of voyeurism and 1 count of child pornography. Authorities found evidence that he had secretly videotaped women and young girls, including Susan. The pornographic images were kept in the home of the 2 men shared with Josh and Susan Powell's boys. The court ordered the Powell boys to remain in custody of Susan Powell's parents because they had been living in an environment with sexually explicit material. Josh was given weekly supervised visitation. Regardless of the court ruling, there was no indication of the rage from Powell that he could blow his entire family up. The father of 2 was reportedly optimistic about the future and was looking forward to a day when he could regain custody of his boys. After a brief investigation, officials confirmed that Powell had deliberately planned the murder-suicide. 2-gallon cans of gasoline were found on the premises, as well as evidence the gasoline was spread throughout the home. Investigators found a hatchet near Josh's body and believed that he used it to attack the boys before igniting the gas leak. The coroner noted that the boys had chopping injuries on the head and neck. However, he ruled carbon monoxide poisoning to be caused by Josh and his sons. 20 minutes before attacking his 2 sons with a hatchet and igniting a gas leak, Powell left a voicemail for his family. His final words to his loved ones. In the short voicemail, exclusively obtained by ABC News, Powell pointed to his boys, Braden and Charles, for the reason behind his heartbreaking act that left all 3 dead.
Hello, this is Josh. I'm calling to say goodbye. I am not able to live without my sons, and I'm not able to go on anymore. I'm sorry to everyone I've hurt. Goodbye.
Powell's sister, Alina Powell, called 911 prior to the explosion, saying she had received weird emails earlier that fateful morning, but she didn't think much of it. Powell's family attorney, Jeff Bassett, also called 911 to report his client had sent an email saying, "I am sorry, goodbye." The deaths of the Washington man and his 2 sons may mean the disappearance of the children's mother may never be solved. Susan remains a missing person, but given the fates of her sons, it is widely believed that she was murdered by her husband Josh. In October 2019, a 6-year-old boy called 911 when his mother tried to kill him. Claudia Nadia Rodriguez was fatally shot by police at the scene after getting hold of the police officer's gun and fired it.
Henderson 911, what is the address of the emergency?
2222 Summers Heights Park.
Okay, and what is your...
My mom's trying to kill me. They're trying to kill each other. They're making us do it.
Okay, ma'am, is it an apartment complex?
2222 Building 22.
Okay, what's the name of the apartment complex? You're giving me an apartment number, not an address.
We're probably around it. We gotta kill each other. We're going out.
Ma'am, what is the name of the apartment complex?
It's apartment 2222 Building 22.
I know, but what apartment complex are you in? You're not giving me an address. You're just giving me a unit number. I'm sorry? Equestrian. Okay.
I know.
The one at 10701 Step Eastern?
Yeah.
Okay. What is your name?
Nadia.
Okay. What's going on?
No, they're making me kill each other.
If you like deep dives into the before, during, and after of true 911 calls, be sure to join the family by subscribing to the channel. And if you have any calls you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comment section below. On October 21st, 2019, at 12:11 p.m., Henderson Police Department responded to the 10,000 block of Southeastern Avenue, Las Vegas, in connection to a disconnect call. When they arrived, the boy was covered in blood. It was later identified that he had suffered 25 stab wounds during the ordeal, including a severe injury on the left side of his neck that slightly cut his carotid artery. It is not so clear on the body cam footage of Officer Patrick McCarrick. Still, when the detective went inside the apartment, he found 37-year-old Claudia Nadia Rodriguez holding a pair of scissors. She stabbed herself in the chest as she approached her, saying that they have to kill her. During a brief struggle, the woman was able to get hold of the officer's Glock 17 handgun. She managed to fire one shot that hit the couch before the second officer, Edward Little, fired 2 shots in return, one of which hit her in the head. The woman was transported to Sunrise Trauma Hospital, where she was pronounced dead. The boy was taken to University Medical Center and underwent emergency surgery. Doctors said that he is expected to make a full recovery. There was a bloody knife found in the master bedroom, and the mattress in the bedroom was also covered with blood. Neighbors were shocked at hearing news of the ordeal, describing the situation as heartbreaking. Some did tell reporters that they saw Rodriguez yelling at her son in public on occasion, but no one reported any concerns of child abuse in the home. An autopsy revealed that the woman had no drugs in her system at the time of her death. Henderson police detective Michael Kondratovich believed that she was suicidal and suffering from a mental breakdown at the time. Little was placed on routine paid administrative leave while the shooting was investigated. In 2021, it was announced that both officers involved would not face any criminal charges.
If you're a true 911 fan and haven't subscribed yet, hit that red button and turn on notifications so you don't miss new uploads.
A Strongsville family was out celebrating their daughter's 10th birthday when the child's father snapped and went into a shooting rampage at the Cracker Barrel on Tiedemann Road. A woman called 911 from inside the restaurant, saying her husband was upset because she had told him she was leaving him.
Brooklyn 911, what's your emergency?
I need an officer. My husband, I'm having some spouse problems, and my husband is like circling the restaurant we're at, and he wants to go home, but he's where he is right.
Okay, I'll respond.
And we're circling the building.
Hold on, where are you at, ma'am? Hello?
Hello.
Where are you?
At Crackle Barrel, there. Sorry.
And he's circling the restaurant?
Yeah.
Did you go there together?
Yeah. No, we get in separate cars.
But you went to the restaurant together?
Yeah.
Okay, well, did you have an argument in the restaurant?
Yeah. I told him that I was leaving him, and he has, he went outside or whatever, and then he's circling the restaurant, and...
What is your name?
Kate Allen.
Kate?
Yes.
And what is his name?
Kevin.
Does he own any weapons?
I don't know.
Ma'am, he's your husband. Do you know if he owns any weapons? I'm not asking you.
I know he does, like, a pellet gun and stuff, and he has...
Is a pellet gun at your house?
Yeah, I'm not going home. I just want to get into
That's not. I'm not asking you if you're going home. I'm asking you if he has any weapons, so that when my officers get there and stop him, they know what they're prepared for.
Okay.
Does he have any weapons on him that you know of, or own any that you know of?
He does. Okay. I know. I saw some shotgun shells. He had a shotgun, but he told me he got rid of it.
Okay, but he doesn't have a shotgun on him currently, correct?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Did you see the shotgun, ma'am?
No, I saw the shotgun shells.
You saw the shotgun shells on him?
Yeah.
What kind of car is he?
It's a Jeep Liberty. What color?
Okay.
It's a gray.
Hold on a second, ma'am. 10-4, 48, 53, 27. Cracker Barrel. As a female stating that she just informed her husband that she's leaving him. They got into an argument. They drove separately, but he refuses to leave the parking lot. He's struggling, waiting for her to leave. He's in a Jeep Liberty. She states he does own a shotgun. She didn't see it on him, but she did see shotgun shells. What color is the Jeep?
Gray. Hold on, he's calling my daughter right now.
He's calling your daughter on the phone? Ma'am? Hello?
Hello?
Are you talking to me, or are you talking to your on your daughter's phone?
I'm trying to talk to him.
Okay, well, try and talk to me, not to him.
Okay.
Can you see a license plate on his vehicle, or do you know the license plate on his vehicle?
No, I don't. I don't see him right now. But I don't see him right now. He's not in front of me. So I'm trying.
What is his first name?
Kevin.
Allen is the last name?
Yeah, he's here, and the police are here too.
Spotted him, and he strikes to the
I have to. All right, wait in the lobby for the officers. Do not go outside. Let them talk to him, okay? Ma'am? Brooklyn 911, what's your emergency? Ma'am, are you okay? We're on our way to Cracker Barrel. Where are you? Are you shot? Is anybody that you know of injured? There's tons of people in here. Okay, where are you? I need you to talk quietly. Where are you? Already advised. Where are you inside the restaurant, ma'am?
I'm like behind the counter.
Okay, stay underneath the counter. I understand. We are right outside. We're right outside. We're going to be coming in to get you, okay?
Okay.
What is your name? Okay, don't stop talking. Just if you can see him, say yes or no.
No, I can't.
Do you know if anybody's shot?
I don't know. I just can't.
Okay, ma'am, we are right outside. I need you to calm down for me, okay?
Okay.
Can you see if anybody's injured from where you're at? I don't want you to
shoot his kids.
See what? He's trying to shoot his kid?
Family.
What is your first name?
My name is Rebecca.
What? What is your name? He's in the girls' bathroom. Fire, I'm not going to be able to talk to you. I have a hostage on the phone and people online. He's in the restaurant. There's people still under the counter. They don't know where he's at. Okay, ma'am, he's still shooting. I'm hearing shots over the phone. What? I don't know where he's at. I'm right here. I'm over here. Yeah. Brooklyn, please, Graves. Ma'am, just stay under the counter. Brooklyn, please.
I'm under it.
Yes, he's in the girls' bathroom. We have victims inside. Hold on. Ma'am, relax. Stop. Stay under the counter.
I'm under it.
Okay. Fire, I cannot copy you.
I have his records.
What's that?
I guessed him out earlier, the same guy.
I know. We were on our way to talk to him, okay?
Okay.
Ma'am, what is your first... Ma'am, do you see my officers in there?
No, I'm just in the corner.
Okay, listen, I just need you to stay underneath the counter until the officers come get you, okay?
Okay.
Confirm male in custody?
Oh my God.
Okay, ma'am, we have him, okay?
Okay.
Okay, I need you to stand up. The officers are on their way in, okay? Don't go anywhere from where you're at, all right?
Okay. Okay.
Hold on a second. Don't hang up.
Okay.
All right, I have one female still on the phone. She's hiding under the counter. Okay, I have officers in there, okay, ma'am? What is your first name again?
My name's Rebecca.
And Rebecca what?
Bastic.
Bastic?
Bastic.
Okay, we're inside, okay? Go ahead and talk to the officers.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
42-year-old Katharina Allen and her 51-year-old husband, Kevin Allen, had marital problems. Just 2 days earlier, Katharina told police in her hometown of Strongsville that she had left her husband and taken their daughters after an incident on Easter. She reported that she was afraid to go home to collect their belongings. According to the police, Katharina said she had not been getting along with her husband and decided to take the kids and stay with a friend. She wanted it on record that they were having domestic issues. While celebrating their daughter's birthday at Cracker Barrel in Brooklyn, Katharina informed Alan that she wanted a divorce, a conversation that sent him into a monstrous rage. Alan left the restaurant and began circling the property in his Jeep. His wife called the police and alerted them her husband was losing it. Kevin Allen came back into the restaurant with a shotgun and, witnesses said, he selectively fired at his family. Kevin fatally shot his wife in the head and torso near the checkout counter, then shot his 10-year-old daughter Kayla in the gift shop. Next, the crazed father reportedly looked for his second daughter, Carrie, who was found hiding in the bathroom. She was shot in the abdomen and died. It was her 10th birthday. After the shooting, Kevin Allen exited the restaurant and was approached by officers. He was ordered to drop his weapon, but he refused to surrender. Officers shot Allen multiple times. He was pronounced dead on the scene, along with his wife Katharina and daughter Carrie. The shooting created panic and confusion in the restaurant, and a manager helped get people out through a rear door. Wounded Kayla was transported to a local hospital for treatment. She succumbed to the wounds and died days later. The news was confirmed with a written statement on a Facebook page set up to help share news about her health and raise funds. The statement read, "Kayla has died peacefully at home. She has been surrounded by family and friends for the past few days. This time has been the most meaningful to us as we held her and loved her, prayed for her, and said our goodbyes." Friends and neighbors were utterly shocked by the tragic restaurant shooting.
I have to. I have to pay my respects. I went to high school with her. She's a very dear friend. Who thinks this? This is terrible.
They were just always happy, happy girls. I never saw a day when they weren't happy.
It's sad. When I go over, I have to cry. I don't know when I look over there, it's just the idea. Because I knew him.
According to police records dating back nearly 20 years, Kevin Allen had a history of threatening wives and others. These records painted the father as a violent man. In June 1995, police in Kirtland, about 20 miles east of Cleveland, arrested Allen after responding to reports of a violent argument between him and his then-wife, Janice Corlin. According to police reports, their fight transpired the same day he received divorce papers from his wife. Additionally, in 2008, Kevin was arrested for burglary and theft. Katharina's family sued Cracker Barrel, alleging it failed to protect them from Kevin. Katharina Allen's brother filed a lawsuit in Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court. The lawsuit sought more than $125,000 in damages. The outcome is unknown. In November 2016, Brandy Worley, a woman from Darlington, Indiana, made a chillingly calm call to 911 reporting she had stabbed herself and killed her 2 children. When police arrived at the scene, they found the lifeless bodies of 7-year-old Tyler and 3-year-old Charlie, covered in blankets. The children had both been stabbed to death in Charlie's bedroom. Brandy was sitting in the living room with the stab wound on her neck.
203 South Madison Street.
In what town?
Darlington.
Hey, what's going on there?
I just stabbed myself and I killed my 2 children.
You stabbed yourself and killed your 2 children?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what's your name?
Brandy Worley.
Brandy what?
Worley.
Okay. How do you spell your last name?
Worley.
And where are the children at?
In my daughter's room on the floor.
In your daughter's room on the floor? Okay. And what caused you to do this today?
My husband wanted a divorce and wanted to take my kid. I won't let him have my kid.
Okay, and how old are your children?
7 and 3.
10 and 3?
7.
7 and 3?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And where did you stab yourself at?
In the neck.
Okay. Are you bleeding?
Yeah, there's blood everywhere.
Okay, and where are you at?
In my living room.
You're in your living room?
Mm-hmm.
Are you armed now with the knife still?
No, it's in my children's room.
Okay, are you still there? Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, where's your husband at?
Downstairs somewhere.
Okay, what's his condition?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him.
And when you say downstairs, is he in a basement or?
Yeah.
Okay, what's his name?
Jason.
Nathan?
Jason.
Jason? Jason Worley?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you have any other weapons with you?
Yeah. No.
No? Okay. And what are you feeling right now? I mean, you're tired? Are you, where?
Yeah. I took a lot of Benadryl.
You took a lot of Benadryl?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And is there anyone else in the residence besides your children and you and your husband?
I called my mom.
You called your mom? What did she say?
I hang up and call 911. And she'd be here in a second. The last thing?
No, just I'm having a hard time. I have a hard time hearing you. What did you say your mom's name was?
Rosemary Bell.
Rosemary Odell.
Tyler was born on the 17th of September 2009. He was a first-grade student at Sugar Creek Elementary School. Just like any other child his age, he enjoyed playing sports. He had dreams of one day working on computers. 4 years later, Charlie was born. She was enrolled in preschool. Charlie loved attending story time at the local library and took dance classes. As it would be discovered, the day before the murders took place, Jason filed for divorce. Brandy married Jason Worley in August 2009. After 2 years of being engaged, the parents had previously discussed going their separate ways but decided to make it work for the children's sake. After filing for divorce, the family went to a dance program for Charlie before returning home for dinner. That evening, Brandy said she needed to buy pipe cleaners. It turned out that she went out to purchase the knife that she would murder their 2 children with. As the nightmare was unfolding upstairs, Jason was asleep in the basement. Screams woke him up, and then he arrived upstairs. Brandy reportedly said to him, "Now you can't take the kids from me." Tyler and Charlie were both pronounced dead at the scene, and Brandy was rushed to a local hospital where she would make a full recovery. The 2 young children died from stab wounds to their necks. Brandy had told paramedics that she wanted to die with her children. News of the shocking murder swept throughout the neighborhood.
And kind of disbelief, definitely sadness. It's not something. It's not something that you. It's definitely not something you hear happening in Darlington.
I looked down the street and I just seen all the cop cars, so I knew something was wrong.
Montgomery County Sheriff held a press conference and discussed the double homicide.
No additional details of this crime will be released until the investigation is complete, as to not jeopardize the integrity of the investigation. I can't imagine the pain and the grief that these families are experiencing this morning. Please keep these families in your thoughts and prayers. I'll be happy to answer any questions I can.
The funeral for Tyler and Charlie was held at the Darlington Community Center. Jason had set up a GoFundMe page to help him pay for the funeral and other expenses, and it would quickly swell to over $50,000. Brandy pleaded not guilty to the 2 murder charges, and her defense team put forward an insanity defense. The court ordered her to undergo a psychiatric evaluation, and a competency hearing was scheduled for the following year. The following year, however, Brandy changed her plea and instead pleaded guilty to 2 counts of murder. The sentencing phase would be held several months later. When given the opportunity to speak, She refused to apologize nor offer an explanation for her actions. The judge ultimately sentenced Brandy to 120 years in prison. In handing down the sentence, Judge Harry Siamis said that everybody wanted to explain the senseless murders, stating that it was highly unnatural for a parent to kill their own child. Brandy's lawyer had this to say about her sentence.
It wasn't a death penalty case, and it made it easier to resolve. So I can't say that the sentence is unfair. Just some things don't have an explanation.
We love Charlie and Tyler. Everybody loved Charlie and Tyler. And we will continue loving them.
According to reports, Brandy Worley has still reportedly shown no remorse for the murder of her 2 children. In prison, she has been diagnosed with depression and has been in an unemotional state. Mother Jenny Gray and father Ben Butler, both 36, can be heard hysterically screaming that their daughter has stopped breathing during the call to the emergency services. Ellie was found dead in her bedroom in Sutton, South London in October 2013. Police investigators discovered Ellie had suffered a catastrophic skull fracture similar to that seen in victims of high-speed car crashes. Butler, who had been left caring for her and her sibling, claimed she must have fallen from a chair.
Police or ambulance? Are you saying police or ambulance? Ambulance, thank you. Ambulance service, what's the address of the emergency? Hello? 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 It's the ambulance service. What's the address? Okay, what's the address? It's okay, I need you to stop shouting so I can get the address, okay? Hello? It's 14 right 4. Okay, I need you to stop shouting, darling, because you're still... I can't tell her. Stop shouting. Okay, it's West Dover Close, yeah? Okay, what area is that? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I need an address so I can get some help to you. But I can't hear you because everybody's shouting. Okay, what area is that in? Okay, what's your telephone number? What is your telephone number, sir?
I don't know.
Alright, okay, what's happening? Okay, but what is that? I don't know what's happening. You're going to have to tell me what's happening. Please, can everyone stop shouting so I can help you? Hello?
Can you talk to me properly, please? I can't speak.
Okay, well, what is shouting? Stop shouting.
Tell me what's going on now.
Okay, I don't understand what's happening. You need to tell me what's happening.
I can't hear that. Something's happening.
Okay, you need to tell me what's happening so I can help you.
My daughter, listen to me now. My daughter is not breathing properly. She's not moving, and I need you to get an ambulance to the house.
You need to calm down and stop shouting because I can't hear you.
Right, hurry up. What's next?
Right, so what's happened? Your daughter...
Tell me, please. I can't hear you.
Okay, I need you to stop shouting because I can't hear you.
Tell me what to do, please.
Well, I don't know what's happening, my love.
Are you coming to my house or not?
Yes, I am. I've got an address, but I need to help you. So what's happening?
What's wrong with you?
I can't hear what you're saying because you're distorting the line when you're yelling at me.
14 West Dover Close.
I have the address, sir, but I need to help you. So what's happened? Tell me what's happened.
I don't know. It was just come upstairs and a little girl called us down and I had my daughter's upstairs and she's laying there. She's not responding. I'm breathing, but she's like
Okay, darling. I'm helping you now. How old is your daughter?
Okay, let me get
How old? Hello? 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 Okay, tell me how old your daughter is. 7. Is she awake? Okay, calm down. Right, you need to listen to me. You need to calm down so I can help you. Now, is your daughter awake or not awake? Okay, is she breathing? She's not. Okay, you need to calm down. So I can help you, okay? Just try and calm down. Can you speak again? Right, I need you all to calm down so I can help you while the ambulance is on its way. He's trying to breathe for her. What do I do now? Are you right by her now? Yes. Right, lay her flat on her back on the floor for me. She's already on her back on the floor. Kneel next to her and look in her mouth for any food or vomit. Where I live. I'm not moving. She's weird. I don't know, there's nothing in her mouth. Right, okay, now place your hand on her forehead, your other hand under her neck, and then carefully tilt her head back for me. Can you be quiet and carefully do what for you? You need to tilt her head back so her chin is pointing towards the ceiling. That's done. Right, can you feel or hear any breathing? What happened? No, I can't. You can't? Okay, well, I'm going to tell you how to give mouth to mouth, okay? Like, can you put it on loudspeaker and everybody be quiet? Yeah, speaker. The button was where it was on it. Okay, am I on loudspeaker? Yes. Right, everybody needs to stay really calm. The ambulance is on its way, but I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, okay? So with her head carefully tilted back, pinch her nose close, and completely cover her mouth with your mouth. And then blow 2 regular breaths into the lungs, about 1 second each. Okay, keep calm, okay? I'm helping you until the ambulance gets there. I can't hear. Right. And then you need to do that. Make sure that it's just enough to make the chest rise with each breath, okay? That's coming out of her nose. Yes. So you can feel the air going in and out. Okay, all right, darling. I'll tell you how to do resuscitation. Okay, well, I need you to keep calm so I can help you, okay? Keep breathing. Is she breathing? She's not. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you how to do resuscitation, okay? Please hurry up. Yeah, the ambulance is on its way. Right, you need to stop talking and listen to what I'm saying to you, okay? Please, it's really important because the ambulance is on its way and I'm telling you what to do until it gets there, okay? Do you understand? The ambulance is on its way while I'm speaking to you. Please listen to me. It's not delaying any help me speaking to you, okay? Hurry up! The ambulance, stop shouting. The ambulance is on its way, okay? But you need to listen. Okay, right, you need to start doing some resuscitation, okay? So push down on her chest 2 inches. You need to put the heel of your hand on her breastbone in the center of her chest, right between her nipples. Yes. Right. Pump the chest hard and fast 30 times, okay? Are you doing that now? 60, 70, brilliant. Keep doing that, my darling. You're doing a really good job. Okay, now you need to check in her mouth and check in her mouth for anything, okay? Okay, darling. Right, next we need to listen to me. With your hand under her neck, pinch her nose closed, and carefully tilt her head back again. Okay. Give her 2 more breaths. Give her 2. Stop shouting. Give her 2. Give her 2 regular breaths. Right. Just focus on your daughter, my love. The ambulance is on its way and I'm helping you, okay? Right. Okay, and you need to pump the chest again 30 times. 30 times. 30 or 20? 30. 30 times you need to pump the chest. Okay, Donnie, you're doing really well. You're doing really well. The ambulance is coming, okay? Okay. Okay, give her 2 more breaths, okay? And after you've done the 2 breaths, keep doing the compressions. So 30 compressions and then 2 breaths. Hello? Right, somebody needs to go outside because the ambulance is outside. Okay, 2 more breaths, my love. You're doing a brilliant job, okay? Yeah, do the 30 compressions again, okay, darling? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. You're doing a really good job. Keep going, man. Don't stop. Okay, now 2 more breaths. 2 more breaths. Okay, so give her 2 more breaths, my love. You're doing a brilliant job, okay? Don't stop doing that. Give her 2 more breaths. Have you done that? Yeah, no. Okay. Back onto the compressions again. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay. 2 breaths. And then 30 compressions. Keep going, my love. You're doing a brilliant job. You're doing a really good job. Keep going. Keep going. You're doing a brilliant job. pounding that. I think he's doing really well, yeah. You need to do go and find the ambulance when the ambulance comes to trying to come up with a chair. Yeah. Just keep pumping the air, she's doing really well now. Okay, that's it. She's got to go with this dog and it's just I need to get away or keep going. How do I get them? Sorry. Come on, no. How do I?
I'm going to get out.
Give us a lot of money. All right, give us up. Just trying to get in the way. Just trying to get in. Come here. Come here. I'm going to know what it is.
Ben Butler, a former car salesman and removals man with a lengthy criminal record, met Gray in March 2006 at a South London nightclub where her brother, Jamie, was celebrating his 31st birthday. Within weeks of knowing each other, Gray fell pregnant and the couple agreed to have and keep the baby. Their situation was far from ideal. However, they seemed determined to make things work, and on December 30th, 2006, Gray gave birth to a baby girl, whom she called Ellie Mae. Butler insisted on being part of his daughter's life as much as possible. He arranged to have her stay over at his flat. However, the first time Ellie was left alone with him, the infant sustained minor burns to her forehead and hand. She was only 6 weeks old. The father insisted that it had been a complete accident. He claimed that Ellie had rolled against a hot radiator, which he had placed near her to keep her warm. Gray accepted the explanation. Their GP was also unconcerned and said that the incident was merely a mistake of the inexperienced new father. The following week, arrangements were once again made for Butler to look after Ellie, and after dropping her off at around 6 p.m., Gray left them to it. According to Ben, Ellie had been pale when she arrived at his flat. He became seriously concerned for her well-being only several hours later. Eventually, he called an ambulance, but concerned at the length of time it was taking, he frantically contacted a friend with the car and took her to St. Helier Hospital himself. According to hospital documents, baby Ellie suffered a brain injury, bleeding on the brain and bleeding in the eyes, which experts refer to as the triad and in many cases point to the likelihood that a baby has been violently shaken. Butler was arrested on suspicion of grievous bodily harm. Following the incident, the London Borough of Sutton issued proceedings to have the little girl taken into care. A fact-finding hearing took place, and His Honor Judge Atkins found that Butler had been responsible for the burns, had caused the head injury, and that Gray had failed to protect her. The judge subsequently ruled out the mother as a long-term carer for Ellie, and he made a special guardianship order awarding temporary custody of the child to Gray's mother and father, Neil and Linda. After a lengthy investigation, Butler was charged with cruelty regarding the burns and causing grievous bodily harm. In October 2007, the father was released on bail pending review of the evidence. He walked free from the Court of Appeal after 3 judges ruled that his conviction was unsafe the following year. It was decided that the medical evidence provided failed to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Ellie's injuries had been caused by Butler. After Butler's conviction was overturned, he and Gray launched a high-profile publicity campaign in an attempt to regain custody. He felt that the justice system unjustly treated him. In one interview, he said, "Even now, even though I've been proven innocent, I've still got to fight. It's been 3.5 years and it's nonstop, a constant battle. It takes everything from you. I've thrown everything at it, and I just want to see her." High Court Judge Justice Hogg ultimately ruled that Butler had been the victim of a miscarriage of justice, and Ellie was returned to his care in late 2012. She commented that none of his convictions for violent behavior had been directed towards the baby. Justice Hogg ordered that an independent social worker from Services for Children oversee the handover since the family had been wronged by the system in the past. The Gray family repeatedly warned of the dangers of returning Ellie to her parents, but their complaints were ignored. In an email exchange on 29 October 2012 with Julie Gray, one of the social workers who worked for Services for Children, admitted knowing Ellie did not want to return to her parents and said for that reason, the handover was going to be speeded up. The email stated, "Effectively, she does not have a choice in this, as we would expect her to say she does not want to go. The decision taken to move her sooner is due to a belief that she is unlikely to choose this." In November 2012, Ellie's grandparents dropped her off at school as usual and said a tearful goodbye. When the school day was over, Butler and Gray, who now lived together, waited at the school gates to pick her up. For 3 months, the independent social workers kept an eye on the family, but in March 2013, the case was signed off and all support mechanisms were removed. Family videos and photographs from this time portray an image of blissful joy with a doting father getting to know the little girl he was so cruelly denied access to. But behind closed doors, the atmosphere at Westover Close in Sutton was completely toxic, with Butler's short and violent temper regularly exploding.
So I'm good, don't ask me to do something which you ain't f***ing done and then sort it out. Now f*** off.
Police retrieved thousands of abuse messages, some of which indicated that Gray had been a victim of domestic violence. Gray was the breadwinner for the family, which meant Butler had to stay at home and look after Ellie and her younger sibling. The father was allegedly resentful because he could not provide for his family. A few weeks before Ellie died, she suffered a broken shoulder. The true circumstances were never revealed. It remains unclear if her parents sought medical help for the severe injury. On 28 October 2013, Gray left for her job as a graphic designer in an office close to the Old Bailey. At 12:46 p.m., Butler tried to call Gray's mobile, but she failed to answer. A few seconds later, he sent her a text message that simply read, "Answer." Within 30 seconds, Gray called him back, and after a very brief conversation, she immediately collected her things and left the office. She flagged down a taxi, arriving home at around 1:50 p.m. At 2:46 p.m., the parents called for an ambulance, each screaming in a distressed state down the phone as if the tragic events had only just begun to unfold. Paramedics arrived at 2:55 p.m. Ellie was blue and cold to the touch. They reported that Ellie had a boggy mess at the back of her head. Her injuries were later described as being similar to what someone might suffer in a car crash. The little girl was taken to hospital but was declared dead at 4:01 p.m. Butler was arrested on suspicion of murder at 9:20 p.m. and immediately began protesting his innocence, telling the police, "I've done nothing wrong." Dr. Carey, a consultant forensic pathologist, said he had never encountered an accidental head injury of this severity in a domestic environment and likened it to a high-speed road traffic accident. In his opinion, the injury resulted from one or more very forceful blunt impacts arising from being thrown against a wall or the ground or struck with a heavy blunt weapon. The police investigation later discovered that the couple had washed their clothes, bought a cake, and portioned it up to add credibility to their story. They also found that Ellie had been dead for 2 hours before the parents called for emergency services. Butler and Gray spent the previous hour attempting to plot a devious cover-up while their daughter lay dead. They found Gray's diaries in the communal bins, including entries showing how he had abused her physically and mentally. Ellie's maternal grandparents ultimately fought in vain to protect their granddaughter. After their granddaughter's death, perhaps the only comfort they might have hoped for was that of seeing justice done. Tragically for Linda, that came too late. She died on the day the trial began. Gray was not informed of her mother's death. In a joint statement written before the trial recorded their pain at losing Ellie, they said, "Our lives have changed so dramatically due to the impact and shock and horror of this event that we struggle every day to deal with the reality of the death of our dear granddaughter Ellie. She was our shining light." Over a 10-week trial, jurors heard how the couple's toxic and dysfunctional relationship had descended into extreme verbal and probably physical abuse before culminating in the brutal murder of the 6-year-old girl. On 21 June 2016, Ben Butler was found guilty of murder and sentenced to a minimum of 23 years in prison. Justice Wilkie said the 36-year-old was guilty of wickedness and a cynicism and selfishness on an almost unbelievable level for the way he tried to cover up his involvement in young Ellie's death. As he was jailed, a weeping Butler shook his head repeatedly and insisted that the jury had not been shown evidence proving he was innocent. His partner and Ellie's mother, Jenny Gray, was jailed for 42 months in connection with the case after admitting to perverting the course of justice, and both were found guilty of child cruelty. The judge warned that Butler may never be fit for release from prison and said he was sure that the stay-at-home father had inflicted other injuries on Ellie in the months before she was killed, including a badly wounded shoulder. He said Gray was naive and stupid for agreeing to go along with Butler's plot to cover up the crime, but said she had carried out the plan and lied for months to police, her solicitors, and to the jury. February 2, 2018, was a freezing cold day in Akron, Ohio. At around 3:30 p.m., Sierra Williams returned to her apartment and saw her 2-year-old daughter outside on the porch. The toddler wasn't moving, and when her mom touched her, she was ice cold and unresponsive. The distraught mother then made the following call to 911.
911, location emergency. Oh my God! Hold on, take a deep breath. What's going on there? Oh my God! I'm sorry, what? Oh my God, she's not breathing! Your daughter's not breathing? Okay. Ma'am, did she take something? No, she was outside. She left. She was on the floor. She's frozen. Ma'am, we have somebody on the way, okay? How old is your daughter? Okay, take a deep breath. Did she take something? No, she didn't. She is ice cold. She's not responding to me. Okay, ma'am, how old is your daughter? She is 2. Okay. She's 2. She's frozen. She's frozen. How old did you say she was? She's 2. You said she's 2? Okay, what happened to her? She must have went outside. She went outside? Yes. Yes. Ma'am, can you bring her back inside? She's inside. She's inside. She's inside. Okay, I need you to put her on her back. Lay her flat on her back on the floor and remove any pillows. You said like that. Okay, listen. Yeah. Is there anything in her mouth? Are you able to get her mouth open? It is open. Okay. All right. Can you turn her on her side and make sure there's no fluid or anything in her mouth? Okay. Okay. And you said how long was she outside? I have no idea. Okay. No. Ma'am, this is what I need you to do. I need you to place your hand on her forehead and the other hand underneath her neck. Okay. You're going to carefully tilt the head back. You're going to pinch her nose closed and completely cover her mouth with your mouth and then blow 2 regular breaths into the lungs. I need you to do this. You're doing great, okay? Honey, did you feel them go in and out? Did you feel the breath go in and out? Ma'am, I need you to answer me. Did you feel the air go in and out? Yes. Okay. All right, listen carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do chest compressions, okay? Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the center of the chest, right between the nipples. Okay. Just one, okay? Okay. You're going to push down 2 inches with only the heel of one hand touching the chest. You're going to pump the chest hard and fast at least 30 times, which is at least twice per second. You're going to make sure the chest comes up all the way. She's foaming out the nose and the mouth. Honey, listen to me. Turn her to her side and wipe all that out. Okay. Okay? Stop. Put her back on her back. Okay, she's on her back. Okay, do you see her chest going up and down? Honey, listen. She's not breathing. No, I don't know. Okay, all right. Okay, listen to me. Can you put your ear next to her mouth?
I don't hear nothing.
Okay. All right, this is what we're going to do. I need you to go ahead, and I'm going to tell you how to pump her chest, okay? Go ahead and give her 2 breaths, then 30 pumps. Then 2 breaths, then 30 pumps, okay?
Okay. Ma'am,
honey, I need you to do it. You're doing very well, okay? Honey, we're already, listen, we're already on the way. We've been on the way. Honey, I need you to listen to me. You are doing great. Keep going, okay?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Go ahead, keep going. I need you to pump, okay? I need you to count with me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
It's steady coming out of. It's steady coming out. When I put it in her stomach, it's coming out.
That's totally fine. Keep going, okay? Keep going. You're doing very well.
Is this stuff supposed to come out?
Yes, ma'am. Keep going. I need you to wipe it out of her mouth. Scoop it out if you need to. Turn her on her side.
I can't get her teeth open.
Okay. All right.
It's not to work.
Honey, keep going. 2 breaths and 30 pumps. Count out loud with me, okay? Ready? Are you ready to do the pump?
Yes, I'm pumping.
Okay, keep going.
I'm pumping.
Honey, we are on the way.
Oh my God.
Okay, go back. Okay, listen to me. Go back to the 2 breaths, then the 30 pumps.
Williams' partner and the father of her children, Darian D. Parker, was at home the day after working a night shift. Parker agreed to watch their youngest child, Winter, while Williams head out with their 4-year-old son. They were only out about 2 hours, but that was more than enough time for the exhausted 25-year-old father to fall asleep. Unattended, the young child then wandered out the door and into the cold. It's not known precisely how long Winter was outside, but being so small and not wearing a coat or any outdoor clothes, she was extremely vulnerable in the icy weather. 23-year-old Williams was at the time pregnant with the couple's 3rd child. When she discovered her daughter, she made the haunting call for help. EMS arrived, but there was little they could do. Her tiny body had already been exposed to fatally low temperatures for too long. The little girl was transported to Akron Children's Hospital, where she was pronounced dead from hypothermia. The strain of having lost a child in such circumstances was too much for the parents' relationship, and the Akron Beacon-Journal reported that they split after Winter's death. Winter's parents were charged with child endangering for not properly supervising their child, which is a felony of the 3rd degree. They both pled guilty, and a sentencing date was set. Until then, they shared custody of their children and were under the supervision of Summit County Children's Services. According to the prosecution, police had been to the home before Winter died after receiving calls about her and her brother being left outside. A neighbor told WKTV, "It was a few times where I had to take both of her kids home." Parker took full responsibility for his actions and was sentenced to 2 years with a minimum of 6 months before being considered for parole. Judge McCarty sentenced Williams to 18 months in prison, which she didn't take well.
So Ms. Williams, as to the endangering children charge on the felony of the 3rd degree, I am imposing an 18-month sentence in the Ohio State Penitentiary. I'm also going to order that you pay the costs of this prosecution. I will consider you for judicial release. And Mr. Parker, I'm imposing a 2-year sentence in the Ohio State Penitentiary, and I'm imposing the cost of this prosecution. I will also consider you for judicial release. I'm not guaranteeing it for either of you.
Can I have you?
That's so fucked up. That is so fucked up. Relax. You sound dumb as fuck. Damn, don't break my fucking wrist. This ain't gonna get no worse.
Many people in the area believed that the parents had suffered enough from the loss of their child and also criticized the sentences. However, Williams' sentence allowed her to apply for early release immediately, which she did. 3 months later, the imprisoned mom apologized to Judge McCarty for her behavior at her sentencing. The judge told the prisoner, "We've lost a human life and the potential that she would have had. The joy she would have brought to family and friends," McCarty said. "This is all loss. It is this loss I feel compelled calls for consequences." McCarty said she was sure Williams had gotten the message and granted her request for early release. Following her release, Williams was on probation for 18 months and under supervision. After serving about 9 months of his sentence, Winter's father was granted early release and was given 2 years probation. Less than 6 months after Williams was released, she was convicted of assault for attacking her mother, Angela Graham. While still on parole, Williams hit and choked Graham and then hit a woman in the face for attempting to stop the attack. Williams was charged with domestic violence, to which she pleaded no contest. However, in September 2019, she was found guilty of the lesser offense of assault. For this, Judge John Poulos sentenced her to 180 days in jail and ordered her to attend an anger management class. The twice convicted mom was also banned from contacting her mother and the neighbor and told to pay restitution. Because Williams violated the conditions of her parole by committing this offense, she found herself back in McCarty's courtroom. In early October 2019, Williams faced the consequences and pleaded guilty to violating her parole. Rather than additional jail time, Judge McCarty ordered her to enter a program that aims to reacclimate people who have been released from prison back into society. The judge told the mother, "When I first brought you out, I didn't think you needed re-entry court," and continued, "I thought you would do okay without the extra structure. Now, I think maybe you do." In June 2015, 11-year-old Anthony Smith, 10-year-old August Smith, and 9-year-old Trayshawn Smith all drowned in a community pool. Their mother, 30-year-old Patricia Allen of Irving, was arrested and charged with injury to a child.
Is this the 2300 block? Right there, he right there. Yeah, he in the water. He in the water. He right there in the... Oh. Sorry, tell me what's going on, please. He in the water. He ain't moving. He in the water. Down low. Drowning. Need police. ASAP. Okay, stay with me, okay? Okay.
Irving Fire Department.
Look, we in Oak Village. It's a girl that's drowning in the water. We don't know she will, we don't know she ain't, but we need somebody here right now.
She did what?
Oak Village in the pool. On MacArthur.
She drove into the water?
No, fire department, I think they're saying there's a child that drowned. Fire department, I think it's going to be 2302 leasing office, 2302 North MacArthur. It's 3426 North MacArthur Boulevard.
3426?
Yes, and there's 2 others down in the bottom of the pool. We just got one of them out, but she's not responding.
3426. All right, I've got another call at 2346. Is that...
20, yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. I'm turning the numbers around. 2346.
There's one that's pulled out and there's 2 more in the pool?
Yes. Yes, we can't see, but we're touching it. We're touching with the pole.
Okay, so there's a total of 3 kids.
Yeah, they brought another one up. There's another one. There's another one missing. Oh my God, who cares? But they're not breathing though.
All right, does anybody there know CPR?
Yes, the mom's trying to, but she's going crazy, of course.
Okay, we need to see if we can't start CPR on these children. How many children?
Right now there's 2 out of the pool. There's 1 missing, and underneath all three of her kids.
All 3 of her children?
Yes.
Do we know where the 3rd one is?
On the bottom of the pool.
Is in the bottom of the pool? Is there somebody going after?
I think that 2 of the employees jumped in, tried to get them out.
Okay, so there's 3 children, and all 3 of them are unconscious?
Yes, there's 2 outside, and there's 1 more missing.
Ellen had reportedly taken 5 of her 6 children to the community pool at MacArthur Place at 183 Apartments for a day of swimming and family bonding that went horribly wrong. Allen was allegedly playing with her two youngest at the shallow end of the pool when her three older children slipped under the murky water. The certified nurse and mother frantically screamed for help, but it was sadly too late by the time EMS arrived on the scene. Allen's 10-year-old daughter, August Smith, died the same day at Children's Medical Center Dallas, and Trayshawn and Anthony died the following day. A month after the ordeal, Allen was arrested by authorities, and her surviving three children, the eldest being 17, were placed into foster care by Child Services. Over 4 years later, in 2019, a plea deal was reached that allowed Allen to avoid jail time. Her charge was reduced to one of negligence, and she was given 2 years of deferred adjudication probation, a type of probation that, should she follow all the requirements, would keep her out of prison. During the investigation of the case, rumors began to circulate that damaged Allen's reputation in the eyes of not only the public but the police as well. In the affidavit for Allen's arrest, a witness said that he thought Allen was using her phone. But according to the lawsuit, records showed Allen hadn't made any outgoing calls or sent texts. Surveillance footage of the incident also showed that no cell phone was used, as well as the fact that Allen had tried to save her children but was struggling to find them beneath the murky water. Patricia Allen, now 34, stated that she is relieved that the deal was reached and can now focus on regaining custody of her children. Wendy Lavarnia contacted 911 in March 2017 and reported that her 2-year-old son had gotten hold of her loaded gun and had shot her 9-year-old son, Landon. After investigation, Wendy and her husband, Kansas, were charged with murder.
Tell me what the emergency is. Slowly.
My son, he is 9 years old. He was shot in the head.
Okay. How did that?
He is 9 years old by his baby brother. I got my gun down. I was on the bed like an idiot. And 9 years old, I didn't think he could fire it, and he shot it. And then my son was standing up and playing the video game, and shot him in the back of his head.
Okay. Listen.
We're on the way as well.
Thank you, Petey. Is he breathing? What I want you to do is get a dry, clean cloth, put direct pressure to the wound, okay? Okay, what caliber weapon was it?
A 9mm.
A 9mm handgun? All right, ma'am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, put direct pressure to the wound. Try to control the bleeding. Is he still awake? Ma'am, I can't hear you. I don't know if you're away from the phone or if you put it...
No,
okay,
I'm putting it in my... I'm putting it in my ear, my head in my ear. Okay, his whole lips are turning a little blue, but his eyes are a little open. He's not responding, though.
Okay, what I want you to do is just get a dry, clean cloth, put direct pressure on the wound. We need to control the bleeding. Now, put your ear to his mouth. Is he breathing? Okay, and he wasn't holding the gun when it happened, correct?
No, he wasn't holding the gun. My 2-year-old did.
Okay. And it's a 2-year-old boy that picked it up?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll be there shortly.
The Phoenix mother had placed her loaded 9mm handgun on her bed next to the toddler and a 4-year-old boy when Landon was a few feet away playing video games. The 2-year-old had allegedly been allowed to practice shooting with the unloaded gun and had picked it up and pulled the trigger, shooting Landon once in the head. When officials arrived at the home on 35th and Rosewood Avenues, they noticed a lack of blood at the scene of the shooting. After investigating the house, they discovered wipes, towels, and clean blood residue in multiple rooms of the home and 2 empty cans of stain remover and traces of blood in the family vehicle. It became obvious that a huge amount of effort had gone into cleaning up the scene before police arrived. Wendy had also told police that her 31-year-old husband had not been home at the time of the shooting, and when he arrived almost 3 hours after police had gotten to the scene, he had a wound that had been taped over with tissues and packing tape. Authorities believed that he had taken what looked like a screwdriver to his arm to try to cover up a through-and-through gunshot wound. When emergency services arrived at the home, the boy was taken to hospital in critical condition and died the following day. Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams stated that significant efforts were made to scrub the house clean and remove evidence while this young boy lay shot and dying. Both were arrested and booked into Maricopa County Jail. Wendy had initially been suspected of 4 counts of child abuse in connection with endangering children. Her husband had been arrested on the charge of illegal firearm possession, a firearm that he had been prohibited from carrying due to a previous felony conviction. As the investigation continued, both parents were charged with first-degree murder in the death of their eldest son, where they pleaded not guilty. On Father's Day 2018, 14 months after Landon's passing, Kansas killed himself. Shortly before his suicide, Wendy confessed to Kansas being at the home during the incident, stating that he had fled the scene due to his prior criminal convictions prohibiting him from having a gun. She also confessed that the bullet that had killed her son had initially hit her husband in the arm, where the bullet fragmented, leading police to believe that he had meddled with the wound with a screwdriver. The bullet went through his arm and hit Landon in the head, causing his death. A plea deal was reached and Wendy's conviction was reduced to manslaughter. She was sentenced to 10.5 years in prison in 2019. Landon was remembered fondly by those who knew him, including his best friend Mason, who left a sad and loving note on the door of the empty home. Their 3 other children, boys ages 2 and 4, and a baby girl, were placed under the custody of the Arizona Department of Child Safety. A fine line between parental rights and parental responsibilities were crossed when a Canadian couple failed to prevent the death of their 19-month-old son from meningitis after trying to treat him with home remedies rather than taking him to the hospital.
911 emergency, require please fire ambulance.
Hi, yes, my son's not breathing.
Okay, what town are you in?
I'm out in Hartley.
Hartley?
Just west of Glenwood, yes.
West of where?
Glenwood.
Glenwood?
Yes, Alberta.
Okay, do you know your address?
No, but it's the only place in Hartley. It has a church here.
Okay, you don't know your land location or anything?
No.
Are you calling from a landline or a cell phone?
A cell phone.
Okay, because it's not coming up with your address. I need an address where, in Hartley, you said?
Hartley, yes.
Hartley is a town?
4 miles west of Glenwood. It used to be a town.
Miles west of Glenwood?
4 miles west of Glenwood.
Okay, so what's the closest fire department and ambulance service to you?
I don't know. I'd be under Glenwood, I'm sure.
Okay, so would be probably Pincher Creek then?
The closest hospital's Cardston, if that's what you're asking.
Okay, and what's the phone number you're calling from?
403-795-2897.
Okay, so your son is not breathing?
My son has stopped breathing.
Has stopped breathing? How old is he?
He is 1.5 years old.
Is he choking prior to this?
No, he's not choking. He's been sick for a little while here. The number is 274-082 Township Road 51.
Okay, go with that number again. 274?
274-082 Township Road 51.
Okay. Are you with your son right now?
I am not. Just
who's with him?
My wife is.
Is she giving him mouth to mouth?
He's off and on. He'll stop breathing for about 20 seconds at a time. And so we will.
Is he still awake?
No, well, he's getting lethargic, so he's not really awake.
He is conscious?
Well, he's been sick, so he's been sleeping a lot.
Okay, but he's not choking.
No, he's not choking. Okay, he's breathing a little bit better now. He's moaning and getting out breath, and he's better than he was.
Okay, is she giving him mouth to mouth?
No, he's doing it on his own.
He's doing it on his own. He's now breathing now.
He's now breathing now. Yes. Okay, you know what? I think we're gonna drive him into the hospital.
I'm gonna stay on the phone with you for just a minute. I just want to make sure he's okay. Is he still breathing? Okay.
Well, here, I'll let you listen to him.
Okay. Okay, you still there, sir?
I'm here.
Okay, does he have croup or has he got bronchitis or anything?
He had croup for a week.
Okay.
He overcame it, and then he's just gone downhill again.
Okay.
2 days, so.
Okay, which hospital are you going to take him into?
Cardston.
You're going to go all the way into Carson, okay?
Well, that's the closest one.
That is perfect. Okay, Carson with the patient. Okay, if you do need the ambulance, do you want us to meet us halfway, or you think he's okay, or?
I'll give you guys a call back. He's seeming to get better.
Okay, if you do need us, you call us back, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Ezekiel Steffen was born at home in August 2010 to 32-year-old David and 36-year-old Colette Steffen. Baby Ezekiel was born with the assistance of a registered nurse named Terry Menders. Just after 1 a.m. on March 15, 2012, the toddler lay unconscious at the Alberta Children's Hospital. Ryan Bulford conducted separate lengthy interviews with the Steffens, asking both of them to describe in detail the events leading up to the hospitalization of Ezekiel. In late February 2012, Ezekiel had taken ill with what his mother believed to be croup, an upper airway infection that leads to a barking cough. The parents turned to alternative therapies and gave the toddler natural antibiotics, anti-inflammatories, natural antivirals, and herbal remedies, including homemade smoothies containing hot pepper, ginger root, horseradish, and onion. According to the parents, Ezekiel was also given vitamin and mineral supplements from David's father's company, True Hope Nutritional Support Incorporated, a natural remedies company founded by Anthony Steffen. Ezekiel seemed to improve over the days, and on some days when he suffered a setback, he would be given an increased amount of natural fluids and smoothies and would respond positively. On Sunday, March 11th, Ezekiel's condition took a turn for the worst. He became more lethargic and had trouble sleeping that night. The following day, the Steffens decided to skip school and consult with their birth attendant, Menders, who said the toddler showed symptoms of meningitis. Colette went online and confirmed that Ezekiel had about 95% of symptoms of viral meningitis. Medical and natural websites recommended boosting the immune system with antibiotics. She gave the toddler natural antibiotics and another natural product called Total Reload, one of several natural supplement products sold by True Hope Nutritional Support Incorporated. On March 13, the Steffens went to a naturopath in Lethbridge to pick up more herbal products. In an interview with the authorities, the boy's father admitted to not being an expert or having any formal education on herbal and natural medicine. Still, they were very well acquainted because the remedies have worked very well for them in the past. According to David, Ezekiel wouldn't have been in a better situation had he been taken to the hospital because he would have been subjected to a 24-hour observation. David claims that his son was less likely to receive swift medical attention.
Ambulance to meet us on Highway 2 north of Cardston.
On Highway 2 north of Cardston?
Highway 2 going north of Cardston, yes.
Are you on the blood reserve?
Not yet, but yes I am. I'm going past the blood reserve. If you send dispatch one from Cardston, I'll meet them. I got my blinkers on. I'll be on Highway 2 before they get there.
Okay, what am I sending an ambulance for?
Baby, stop breathing. He's not choking. He's stopped breathing.
Okay.
He's completely lethargic. Need an ambulance now.
Okay, just one sec. I'm going to get some information, okay? You're on Highway 2 by Cardston?
I will be on Highway 2 in about 5 minutes.
Okay, how far north of Cardston are you?
I will be 17 kilometers north of Cardston when I hit Highway 2, and then I'm continuing on to Cardston, so wherever they meet me. I got my blinkers on.
How old's the baby?
The baby's 1.5 years old.
Okay. And is it a male or female?
It's a male.
Is he breathing right? Is he awake right now?
He's been in and out of consciousness because he's been sick for a little while here, so he's been getting a lot of rest, and he was fine up until about half an hour ago. All of a sudden, he stopped breathing.
Is he breathing right now?
My wife is resuscitating him or giving him CPR.
So he's not breathing?
He stopped breathing.
Okay. So he's not conscious then?
No, he would not be conscious.
All right, and we saw this baby. Your wife saw this happen to the baby?
Did my wife see this happen to the baby?
Yes.
Yes, she saw this happen to the baby.
Okay. All right, I'm sending an ambulance to help you now. Just stay in line. I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay? So you said that you're doing CPR on the baby right now?
My wife is doing CPR on the baby right now, yes.
Okay. And he is flat on the back right now, is that correct?
Is he flat on his back? Yes, he's flat on his back.
Okay, there's nothing in the mouth at all? No food or vomit?
I don't believe so.
Okay, right now you're 17 miles north of Cardston?
17 kilometers north of Cardston. I will be in about 3 minutes, and then I'm continuing on towards Cardston. So wherever they meet me, I'm the one that's going very fast with flashers on.
Absolutely, I'll let them know that. What kind of vehicle are you in quickly?
I'm in a Trailblazer, 2002 Trailblazer.
Okay, I'm going to give you some more instructions for your wife there, okay? Can she hear me, or can you communicate with her?
I'll put you on speaker.
Okay, so she is breathing. Can she feel or hear any breathing in his mouth right now?
No, but when I breathe into his mouth, he has a bunch of liquid, so it gargles.
Okay, so can you feel or hear any breathing right now?
No.
Okay. This is what I want you to do, okay? Place your hand on his forehead, the other hand under his neck, and tilt the head back. You have that airway open?
Yep.
And you can still not hear or feel any breathing?
Yep.
Okay. So this is what I want you to do, okay? I'm going to tell you to get mouth to mouth like you were doing already, with his head carefully tilted back, pinch his nose closed.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
And completely cover his mouth with your mouth, then blow 2 regular breaths into the lungs.
Yep, and then
about 1 second each.
On his chest.
Okay, just make enough, just enough to make the chest rise with each breath, okay?
Yep.
Now, do you feel air going in and out?
Yes, I do, but he doesn't breathe after that.
Okay, I want you to just keep doing that, okay? Now I'm going to tell you how to do chest compression, okay? We're going to do chest compressions on him. Can you hear me?
Yep, I do 5, right?
What I want you to do is you're going to push down 1.5 inches with only the heel of one hand touching the chest, okay?
Okay.
And you're going to pump the chest hard and fast 30 times, at least twice per second. And I want you to let the chest come up all the way between pumps, and then I want you to tell me when you're done, okay?
Sorry, I missed the last one.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pump the chest hard and fast 30 times.
What?
Okay, at least twice per second.
Sorry, did you say 30?
30 times, yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's how fast you should be doing it, okay?
Okay, I did 30 times.
Okay. You've done that now? Okay, with your hand under his neck, pinch his nose closed, and carefully tilt his head back again, and give 2 more regular breaths. And then pump the chest 30 more times. And make sure you see the chest rising between each breath. And then 30 pumps. You're doing an excellent job. You know the ambulance has been dispatched. They're going to come as fast as they safely can to meet you guys on the highway, okay? Okay, so 2 breaths, 30 pumps, 2 breaths, 30 pumps. You're doing an excellent job. Okay, did you give those 2 breaths? Let me know when those 2 breaths are done, and we'll start counting again. Okay, I want you guys to pull over as soon as you see the ambulance with the flashing lights, okay?
Thank you very much.
I'm going to stay on the phone with you. Just leave me on speakerphone. I'll stay with you.
Okay.
And as soon as you see the ambulance lights, you guys pull over, okay?
Sorry?
As soon as you see the ambulance lights, you guys pull over. For now, I want you to keep getting them 2 breaths and 30 pumps until they get there.
Okay.
You're doing a great job.
Gotta pull over.
You see the ambulance? You're doing a great job.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30.
Ambulance, come on. You see an ambulance there?
Yeah.
I don't want you to stop until those paramedics take over for you. I want you to keep doing it, okay? You're doing an excellent job.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. Come on, baby.
2 breaths.
1, 2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And now I want you to give me 2 breaths.
30, the ambulance is here.
Perfect. Keep going until the paramedics take over for you, okay? Don't want you to stop.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Come on.
Okay. All right. Yeah, listen. I know. Okay, I'm jumping off the ambulance right now.
What's going on?
He stopped breathing. He had croup. And then he was doing. We thought he was getting a little bit better, and then it started to get worse, and just not very good. And then now, just in the last half hour, he just wasn't breathing very good and stopped breathing.
He may have fluid in his lungs because he was so lethargic and they're feeding him electrolytes and whatnot to start collecting.
Okay.
So he may have a little bit of fluid in his lungs and that might have been what started this. How long have you been down like this for?
On the way here, so
10 minutes.
10, 15 minutes.
I need an airway, and we need to...
Sorry, do I still need to be on the phone with you?
No, I can disconnect. Thank you.
Okay.
Excellent job. Thank you.
The Steffens called an ambulance when the boy stopped breathing and initiated CPR, meeting the paramedics on the way to the hospital to save time. Ezekiel was taken to hospital in Cardston and then to Lethbridge for transport to Calgary by air. At the hospital, Ezekiel was diagnosed with bacterial meningitis and neurological dysfunction. He was put on antibiotics and kept cool for 36 hours. However, over the next 2 days, Ezekiel showed no signs of neurological function. He was initially declared brain dead by doctors on March 15. In June 2016, a jury found the Steffens guilty of failing to provide the necessaries of life to 19-month-old Ezekiel.
We just want to say thank you so much for all the love and support through all of this. Even despite all of the misinformation that's been out there that's turned so many people against us needlessly. That's ostracized us, divided us from the average person. We appreciate all those who have saw through, saw the truth, saw the underlying matter that was here, and have come out and shown their support and their love.
I think we were able to clarify a lot of points that and misconceptions that were made when we were nearly 48 hours sleep deprived and food deprived and traumatized when we made the statements to the police. And so I think it went quite well. This time around, yeah, the trial is going much more smooth. It seems very fair and balanced, where it's not just the Crown getting their way on everything. And, you know, having a lot more of the truth and the evidence available to us, it's definitely game-changing. We still don't really know all that took place, what led up to Ezekiel arresting. But would have we done things differently? Any parent would. I mean, you couldn't get any worse result than what ended up happening, right? So had we been able to foresee that Ezekiel was going to arrest, yeah, of course we would have done something different, as our main objective was to ensure his well-being and his health. It'll be really nice when all this is over, and all this is behind us. You know, me and my wife have been married for almost 15 years now, and over 7 years of that has been surrounding the passing of Ezekiel and court proceedings subsequent to that. And so it's kind of become a part of our identity. So it'll be kind of hard to learn what normal life is like again.
After the guilty verdict, David wrote an open letter on Facebook saying, "I only wish that you could have seen how you were being played by the Crown's deception. Drama and trickery that not only led to our key witness being muzzled, but has also now led to a dangerous precedent being set in Canada." He expressed concern that this case could be seen as an opportunity for the government to monitor how people parent, leading to more criminal prosecutions. Ezekiel's grandfather, Tony Steffen, spoke out about the charging of his son and daughter-in-law for the death of his grandson.
And the ambulance was going to meet him part way so that they could begin working with the little guy. And the mother had to perform artificial respiration because he was really having trouble breathing on the road there. And they met the ambulance about 8 minutes north of Cardston. Now I got to ask the question, what happened? Because they have an ambulance in Glenwood, which is only 5 minutes from their home. And they could have immediately began to do the work on the little guy. And, boy, that's terrible. But when they met the ambulance attendant indicated that he didn't have an intubation tube to intubate the baby, to put air into his lungs. They didn't have the right equipment. And so when they brought him to the Cardston Hospital, he wasn't breathing and his heart had stopped. Terrible, just terrible. And I gotta ask about the hypocrisy of that whole situation. What? You mean to tell me that you would take this young couple who are struggling with this situation and charge them criminally like this? Now, these are good parents that look after their children. They feed them very, very well. They're into a lot of health issues. They don't feed junk food and pop and chips to these kids, and they're very healthy. And I understand since this has occurred that there are times when coming out of croup, meningitis can occur. But who can tell? Who would know? And there was nothing that ever sent a signal that said, take this boy into the hospital right now because he needs hospital care. So it's just a terrible situation, and there's no bringing him back. But I don't understand why they would do this when there's a partial blame here with the medical system in that sense, not having the appropriate equipment. And I understand that people do the best that they can. I'm not here to fault people. I'm just asking the question, what happened here? And why would you blame a young couple that are doing the very, very best that they can? You have to ask the question. It begs an answer.
The Supreme Court of Canada overturned the guilty verdict and ordered a second trial. A judge hearing the case without a jury found them not guilty in 2019. He accepted the testimony of a defense expert who said the toddler died of lack of oxygen, not bacterial meningitis.
This has been a significant turnaround in regard to the justice system, or our experience with the justice system over the past 6 years. Because we were getting bulldozed over and over and over up until June of this year. And so it has shown that justice can come, for sure. That truth can be heard and allowed into the courtroom.
In March 2021, the Alberta Appeal Court ordered a third trial against the Steffens, setting aside the not guilty verdicts. The presiding judge had erred, requiring the Crown to prove that medical intervention would have saved Ezekiel's life. In June 2021, Crown prosecutors dropped the charges against the Steffens, determining that the evidence did not meet standards for prosecution, since it had been 9 years since Ezekiel's death and that the available evidence had deteriorated, making a reasonable likelihood of conviction unlikely. According to David, his battle is far from over. He will be returning to the Supreme Court to defend parental rights and choice of care.
Innocent parents are now becoming criminals because of choice of care, because they had, maybe they favored natural medicine. Even though there's no case of neglect that can be established, it just comes down to whether or not they favored pharmaceutical medicine versus natural medicine or Ayurvedic medicine or whatever it may be. And so that doesn't make you a criminal here in Canada, but yet they've been attempting to do that, to establish that precedent.
On March 2, 2013, 7-year-old Ryan Lovett started convulsing after being bedridden with a fever for 10 days. His mother, 47-year-old Tamara Lovett, didn't believe in science-based medicine and had been treating him at home with dandelion tea and oil of oregano.
911 for what city?
For Calgary, please.
And do you require police, fire, or ambulance?
Ambulance right away, please.
Okay, what is the address of the emergency?
921 7th Avenue Southwest. It's an apartment building. Hurry up.
Hold on, I need you to take a deep breath for me here. I need you to repeat the address again for verification, please.
921 17th Avenue Southwest.
Okay, is this the Vienna Clinics building?
Yes, please.
Okay, what's the unit number?
Number 1. I'm down in the basement, so
okay.
I'll have the door.
Okay, and what is the phone number you're calling me from? Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
He's been having a fever, and he's in convulsion right now.
Okay, so I need you to take a deep breath for me, okay?
I'm holding him right now, too.
Okay, so the ambulance is on the way, okay? So I need you to take a deep breath, and I'm going to ask you a few questions here, so I need you to stay on the phone, okay? Are you with the patient now?
Yes, I'm holding him right now.
Okay, and how old is the patient?
He's 7.
7 years?
Yes.
Okay.
And he was breathing funny for the past, 20
20 minutes or so.
Okay, so while the paramedics are there, okay, ma'am, I need you to listen to me for a second here, okay? Okay, can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I need you to listen. I'm going to ask some important questions here while the ambulance is on the way, okay? Is he awake?
Is he breathing?
Is he awake?
No.
Okay, is he breathing?
No. I don't know. I can't tell you now.
Okay, ma'am, like I said, the ambulance is on the way, okay? I just need you to help me answer these questions, okay? Has he had more than one seizure in a row?
No, this is the first one.
Okay, is he diabetic?
No.
Okay, is he an epileptic or ever had a seizure before?
No.
Okay, has the jerking stopped yet?
Yes.
Okay, is he breathing right now? Ma'am?
I'm trying to determine.
Okay.
No.
Okay, is there a defibrillator available?
No.
Okay, so like I said, I'm sending the paramedics to help you now. Just stay on the line and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay? Are you right by him now?
Ryan?
Ma'am, I need you to listen carefully, okay? Are you right by him now?
Yes, I'm right with him right now.
Okay, so listen carefully. Lay him flat on his back on the ground and remove any pillows.
Okay.
Kneel next to him and look in the mouth for food or vomit. Is there anything in the mouth?
No.
Okay, so...
Yes.
There is something in the mouth?
Yes.
Okay, so turn his head to the side and clean out his mouth and nose.
Doing that.
It's okay to have a little fluid remaining. So I need you to do that now and tell me when it's done.
Okay, that's done.
Okay, now place your one hand on his forehead, your other hand under his neck,
Okay.
then carefully tilt the head back. I need you next to put your ear next to his mouth.
Yep.
Can you feel
I got it.
Pardon me?
I cleared it.
Okay, can you feel or hear any breathing?
Not yet.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to give mouth to mouth.
I'm doing that right now.
With his head carefully tilted back, pinch his... Ma'am, I need you to listen carefully here, okay? Pinch his nose closed and completely cover his mouth with your mouth. Then blow 2 regular breaths into the lungs, about 1 second each. Just enough to make the chest rise with each breath.
Covered in vomit.
Do you understand me so far?
I do.
Okay, did you feel the air going in and out?
Yes.
Okay, so listen carefully and I'll tell you how to do chest compression. So make sure he's flat on his back on the ground. Place the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the center of his chest, right between the nipples. Okay, push down 1.5 inches with only the heel of one hand touching the chest. Pump the chest hard and fast 30 times, at least twice per second. Let the chest come all the way up between pumps. Tell me when you're done. I'm going to count with you, okay? I want you to count out loud. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, ma'am, have you done that so far? Hello?
No.
Do you understand me so far? Hello? Ma'am?
No, yeah.
He's vomiting?
No, I'm pouring out of them.
So I need you to turn his head to the side and clean out his mouth and nose. Ma'am, the ambulance is well on the way, okay? I need you to tell me exactly what's happening right there. Has he stopped vomiting? Ma'am, do we buzz 1 to get into the building? Hello? Ma'am, does the ambulance buzz 1 to get into the building? Hello? Hello, ma'am, can you hear me? Hello? Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah.
What is the buzz code to get into your building? Hello, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you answer what the buzz code is to get into your building? The paramedics are here.
I know, I got somebody at the door's open.
He's breathing now? And you cleaned out his mouth and nose? Ma'am, can you tell me exactly what you see or hear him doing?
Not breathing.
He stopped breathing?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you turn his head to the side and clean out his mouth and nose?
Yes, I've been doing that.
Okay, so I need you to do that now and tell me when that's done. The paramedics are going to be there shortly, but I need you to focus on him right now, okay? So from now on, I need you to give him 2 breaths, then 30 pumps. 2 breaths, then 30 pumps. I need you to keep doing that until help can take over, okay? Ma'am, do you understand me so far?
Hello, you're here.
The paramedics are there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go and speak with them then, okay?
Oh, baby, hurry up. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
He's lying on the floor and they're fucking worried about getting a gurney in here. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to carry that out.
Ma'am, they're there to help your son, okay?
I know, but there's no room for a gurney in here.
Okay, well, they know what they're doing, okay? They're going to help him. I need you to take a deep breath for me, okay? They've done this before. That's why they're there, okay?
When paramedics arrived, they found Ryan lying in the dark and cluttered hallway of the family's basement apartment, but it was too late. Tamara Lovett was distraught at the loss of her son and perhaps with guilt. Ryan had strep infection, meningitis, and pneumonia, but this could have been prevented with a simple prescription of antibiotics. But in absence of appropriate treatment, the infections had resulted in multiple organ failure. Tamara's friend had told her to take Ryan for help, but Tamara had refused. Her son didn't have a birth certificate, and having never seen a doctor, his mother preferred homeopathic and alternative therapies. Tamara Lovett was charged for failing to provide the necessaries of life and criminal negligence causing death, and in 2017 she was found guilty of criminal negligence causing death. The judge said Ryan's suffering should have been obvious and sentenced his mother to 3 years in prison. A 10-year-old boy called police to be rescued when his mother drunkenly locked them both inside their hot car. The boy's mother allegedly refused to roll down the windows. When she finally passed out, the scared little boy called the police.
911, do you need police, fire, or EMS?
My mom is really drunk, and I'm sitting in the car. It's super hot.
Okay, where are you?
I'm in this place called Lakewood or something.
A place? Where? What is it called, hon?
Like, it's in Lakewood. It's like right next to Travis. He's really drunk.
Okay, okay, take a breath for me, hon. Are you by water?
It's like near a place where they drop the boats off.
It's near a place where they have what?
Where they drop the boats off. Like a big water place where they drop all the boats off and they go fishing.
Okay, and how long has your mom been gone?
No, she's sitting in the car.
And where are you?
I'm in the car in the back seat and she won't tell me next month. That's really hard.
Can you talk to her?
No, she won't talk.
Okay, what color is your car?
It's a black truck.
Okay, can you try to get her to talk to me?
Talk to them. She just said no.
Okay, that's okay. How old are you?
I'm 10.
You're 10? 10.
Yeah.
They're in a truck. Okay, are the windows down, hon?
No.
Okay, what's your name? All right, and you're doing awesome. What's your mom's name?
Adrian.
Adrian? What's Adrian's last name?
Mom.
Can you spell that for me?
MOSS.
Okay, look around for me, and you said you're by where the boats are parked?
No, like they drop off the boat.
Okay, by the boat dock. Okay, do you know why you're there? What you guys were doing there?
No. Our house is really hot. To the apartment studio. Our house is really hot, so she went to a friend's house. And
okay.
And now we were leaving. I said, Mom, put a curtain on. And I fell asleep, and now we're here.
Oh, okay. I see. Do you know what kind of truck that is, that black truck?
No.
You don't know? Does it have 2 doors or 4 doors?
4 doors.
It's a 4-door?
Yeah.
No. And it's all black? Does it have any kind of stickers or anything on it?
No.
No? Okay. Okay, you're doing really good. I have some people coming to help you out, okay? Do you see anybody walking around outside in the parking lot or anything?
I see a blue and white boat.
You see a blue and white boat? But do you see any people?
Yeah.
You do? Will you do me a favor? Will you get out of the car and walk up to one of those people and give them the phone? You don't want to?
No.
Okay. No, that's okay. Can you roll down a window?
Nope. Yeah? Oh, no. The windows are locked.
Hey, give the phone to your mother for me, hon.
No, she's just gonna hang it up.
Okay, that's all right. Can you ask her nicely if she could please roll down the window because it's hot?
Can you roll down the window? Can you roll down the window? You want to talk to her? She said no.
Okay, they're almost there. How long have you been there, you think?
Like an hour.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No.
Okay. Okay, can you look out the windows? Would you be able to just yell at somebody for help?
The windows are locked.
They're locked. Can you see the ramp that goes down to the water from where you are? Kinda. Can you see like buildings that look like apartments where you are at?
Yeah.
You can?
Yeah.
What's Mom doing now?
I don't know. She's just saying stop.
What is she saying stop about?
Mm.
Do you think she doesn't feel good?
She's drunk.
Okay.
She's in the condos.
Will you look around and tell me if you can see a dumpster?
I can see a police car.
You can see a police car?
Yeah.
Okay, they should be coming to you pretty soon. I'm going to still stay on the phone until they come, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you're doing super good. Do you see a policeman?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys talk to him. You did a good job, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good job, bud. Bye.
When the Lakeway police officers arrived, temperatures inside the car approached 123 degrees Fahrenheit. Police found 34-year-old Adrienne Moss drunk and tumbling out of the driver's seat. According to an affidavit, the mother repeatedly told the child to get out of her life. When an officer attempted to separate Moss and the child to speak with the child, the woman pushed the officer away several times. Moss was charged with endangering a child. She was later bailed out on a $15,000 bond. The 34-year-old had multiple run-ins with the law, according to an unidentified family member. Bastrop Country Jail records show she was charged with public intoxication and harboring a runaway child. Moss was also convicted of driving while intoxicated and arrested by Austin police in January 2006, a Class B misdemeanor. The family member told a news source, "It made me feel embarrassed." She added, "I thought she was trying to harm herself and her child at the same time." It's unknown who has custody of the child. Denisha Brent frantically called 911 in April 2021 to tell them that her 6-year-old son had been shot and killed. But police later discovered that the killer of this harrowing crime was Brent herself.
Police and fire dispatch?
Yes, I need the police.
Okay, where?
I'm at the Fairfield Hotel.
Mm-hmm. The one on Tiedemann in Brooklyn?
Yes.
Okay, what room?
301.
What's going on 301?
Somebody shot my son.
Someone shot your son?
Yes.
Is he in the room?
Yes.
Okay, is he alive?
I don't know if he's alive. My hand is shot.
Okay, how long ago was this?
This is about 30 minutes ago.
It happened 30 minutes ago?
Yes.
Okay, where did the shooter go?
I'm not sure. They left the room.
Okay, this was 30 minutes ago, and they left the room. Where did the shooter go?
I'm not sure, ma'am. I tried to stop him. I got shot in my hand.
Okay, who shot him?
I don't know. I was asleep, and then I just woke up, and he was shot. I tried to take the gun from him. He shot me in my hand.
Okay. Can you check on your son? I want to know if he's alive or not.
Okay. I'm downstairs at the front desk.
Okay. How old is your son?
He's only 6.
Okay. Where is he in the room still?
Yes.
Okay. He's 6 years old, and where did he get shot?
He's shot in his head and in the stomach.
He is shot in his head and the stomach, and he's in 301?
Yes.
Okay. Is anybody in 301 with him right now?
No.
Okay. You don't know who did this?
No, I was asleep.
Okay, what is your name?
My name is Danisha.
Okay, I want to make sure we can get some help to your son. Okay, when the last time you saw him, was he breathing?
He was breathing a little bit.
He was breathing a little bit. Okay, are you the only one in the room with him in 301? Was there anybody else in there?
No, I'm downstairs.
I understand, but like, is anybody else in the room with your 6-year-old right now?
No.
Okay, honey, what's your last name?
Brent.
BRINGHT. Okay, and a phone number for you there, Denisha, is it 216-259-7650?
Yes.
Okay, I want to get help to your son if the shooter is gone and we don't know where the shooter went.
Okay.
She's down at the front desk. We're gonna. Okay. Do we know? You don't know anything? They broke into your room.
I'm not sure. I was with a friend last night, but he was with his friends. We had went swimming, and then I thought they had left.
Okay. Are you able to go back up to the room to check on your son?
Yes.
I want to get him some CPR if.
Okay.
Are you able? Are you on the front desk phone? You don't have a cell phone?
No, I don't have my phone. My phone is dead.
All right. I want to get your son CPR if he's shot. I want to get him some help.
Okay.
All right. Are you able to go up to the room?
Yes, I had to hang up.
You have to hang up to go up to the room. Okay.
Yes.
Do you know how to do CPR, ma'am?
No, CPR? Yeah,
yes.
CPR?
Can you maybe have someone at the front desk, or there are people at the front desk can go up there with you?
Okay.
I want to get some CPR to your son.
Okay. Hold on.
2111 to 2141. Why don't you guys stage right on the entranceway into Key Bank? Do not go all the way up to Fairfield. 2141 cop.
Is anybody there now? Hello? I think she went upstairs to go check on her son in 301.
Hey, Latoya. Here, get a radio. A radio, Latoya. Here.
She's going to go upstairs to check on her son with somebody at the front desk.
Hello, ma'am?
Yes. Who's this?
Okay. I just sent her out there with a walkie-talkie, so you're going to have to stand by. She's on her way to the room with the situation.
Okay. Do you guys know anything? Did you hear anything? What's going on?
I didn't hear anything at the front desk, but I do know Brooklyn is pulling in now.
Yeah. We have the police and fire going to go up to the 301. Who registered to 301? Is that the female, Denisha Brent?
Yes. That's
okay. And that's okay. And you guys didn't hear any shots fired or anything like that?
I didn't hear anything at the front desk, but the girl that relieved me said she heard a big boom, but she thought it was a train next door.
Okay. What's your name?
My name is DeAndre.
DeAndre. Okay. Was this about 30 minutes ago you heard the noise?
Elevator. Oh, you can go that way and go to the stairs. Yes, sir.
Sir.
You said what? You said that was the police officer.
I understand. I'm sorry. You said you heard the boom about 30 minutes ago. You said your coworker heard a boom?
The coworker said she heard it like 5 minutes ago. 301. He went that way up to
301. Right. When was that noise that she heard? How long ago?
She said she just came in like 5 minutes ago. So it was like 5 minutes ago when she came in. She heard a big boom.
Okay. All right. We're there. We're talking to you now. We have the police and the fire department on scene. Okay.
Yep.
DeAndre, all right. Thank you. All right.
Bye.
Police found Kamir Brent and his mother in their hotel room at Fairfield Inn and Suite in Ohio. The boy had sustained multiple gunshots in the head and stomach, and Denisha had told police that she had been shot in the hand. However, the police didn't buy her story. They were both transported to a nearby hospital where the boy was pronounced dead. Before her arrest, Denisha was treated for her injury. Parma Municipal Court Judge Kenneth Spangle set Denisha's bond at $500,000, but later raised it to $5 million. The 30-year-old was indicted on 2 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of endangering children, and 1 count of tampering with evidence. According to authorities, the Department of Child and Family Service had been involved with the Parma woman twice this year, and on both counts were contacted by concerned individuals who did not believe that Denisha maintained adequate or safe living conditions. According to the DCFS, Kamir was not afraid of his mother and did not display signs of physical abuse. However, Donald Brent, the killer's father, reported in court that he had called in on multiple occasions to report physical abuse to the Cuyahoga County Department of Children and Family Services, but nothing was done to help. Police records also indicate various incidents with Denisha, involving intoxication and not paying the bill at a restaurant. According to the defendant's father, she had been diagnosed with schizophrenia, and her family was in the process of obtaining legal custody of Kamir. He also stated his family's sadness and fear for Denisha, saying that they don't know what will happen to her if she goes to prison, and although they hate what she did, they want her to get the mental health care she needs. While sentencing has not yet taken place, Denisha does stand a chance of getting out of being charged with aggravated murder by using an insanity plea, but this defense has been described as poor. Kamir's family mourns the little boy that has been described as energetic and fun-loving, with an excitement to learn new things and watch cartoons. Alex Radita, a diabetic Calgary teen, was only 15 years old when his parents confined him and refused to give him his critical medical treatment. The boy was dead for up to 36 hours before 911 was finally called.
No problem. Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, I came from work and I found my son in bed and he's not breathing.
Your son is not breathing?
No.
Okay. Are you with him right now?
I'm outside, but I'm the same address.
You're outside. How old is he?
He's 15.
15. Okay. Is he awake?
Well, I tried to wake his hand. He's not responding.
Okay. Is he breathing?
I got my friends. No, I didn't see that.
Okay. Is there a defibrillator available?
No, we don't have that.
Okay.
Just private house.
Okay, no problem. So what I want you to know is we have lots of help already on the way, like I mentioned, okay? Just stay on the line with me. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do next, okay?
Okay.
Are you right by him right now?
I'm outside of the house.
Okay. Can you get the phone as close to him as possible? Do not hang up and just do it now. Tell me when you are there, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, are you there now?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Him.
So listen carefully, okay? I want you to lay him flat on his back on the ground and remove any pillows. Okay?
Okay, he's got lots of pillows here.
Okay, and I want you to kneel next to him. Look into the mouth for food or vomit. And tell me if there's anything in the mouth.
No, it's not.
Nothing in the mouth? Okay. Now place your hand on his forehead and your other hand under his neck. And then, and then tilt the head back and put your ear next to his mouth. And tell me if you can feel or hear any breathing.
Well, I'm not sure about it.
Okay, just put your ear.
Yeah, I don't feel anything.
Nothing?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you how to give mouth to mouth, okay? With this position, with his head tilted back, I want you to pinch his nose closed and completely cover his mouth with your mouth.
Yeah.
And blow 2 regular breaths into the lung, about 1 second each, okay? The chest should rise with each breath, okay?
I did already.
Try that again, okay? Did you feel the air going in and out?
The air goes in.
Okay. Did you feel the air coming out?
No.
Okay. Okay, I want you to tilt his back more and pinch his nose close, okay? Completely cover his mouth with your mouth and blow 2 regular breaths, okay? About 1 second each. The chest should rise with each breath.
I did.
Okay, did you feel the air coming in and out now?
No.
Okay, listen carefully. I'm going to tell you how to do chest compression, okay?
Okay.
Just place the heel of your hand on the breastbone in the center of his chest. Okay? Right between the nipples.
Yeah.
Okay? Put your other hand on top of that hand.
I can't because I hold the phone.
Okay, can you turn on the speakerphone?
Just a minute. Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, I want you to push down firmly 2 inches with the only heel of your lower hand touching the chest. Okay?
I do that right now.
Okay. Now listen carefully. Just pump the chest hard and fast 30 times. Okay, at least twice per second. Let the chest come up all the way between pumps and tell me when you're done. Okay? Okay.
I did.
Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna calculate you. Okay, so go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay?
Nothing happened.
Okay. So with your hand, basically we're doing this and make sure this is we'll continue to do this. Okay? Do you understand me so far?
Well, I press on his chest, but nothing happened.
Okay.
Oh, the people are here already now.
Okay, they're there. Okay, I'll let them take over. Okay.
I came from work and I. Just a minute, they are here.
Okay, I'll let you go, okay?
I'm going to leave you because they are here. Okay?
Yeah, I'll let you go now, okay?
Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Okay.
What's going on? What's his matter?
The boy, who had been diagnosed with diabetes type 1 since age 3, had reportedly been hospitalized numerous times due to not receiving the insulin that his body critically needed. His parents, Emil and Rhodesia, did not believe the doctor's diagnosis and often refused to treat his illness. They had allegedly made it almost impossible for the boy to be in contact with anyone who would intervene and monitor his disease since he was diagnosed. He was previously seized from his parents by BC Social Services after nearly dying from hypoglycemia in 2003. His mother blatantly admitted that she had not taken her son for medical treatment in nearly 2 years. The doctors treating the boy had described him as being 1 day from death. He was kept in foster care until 2005. He was returned to his parents that January, despite the social workers' arguments against him going back into the care of his parents. But their son's temporary custody arrangement did not change the thinking of his barbarous parents, even though they had agreed to be more responsible and give their son the treatment he required to live. His last known doctor's consultation was in January 2008. The doctor noted that the boy's mother was resistant to increasing his insulin dosage out of fear that it was causing cold sores. The doctor also said that he never saw the boy again after that. In May 2013, the constant neglect and abuse of their child finally caught up with them. The boy, who had been isolated and homeschooled for most of his life, weighed a mere 16 kilograms when he died. An autopsy found the cause of death to be bacterial sepsis brought on by starvation and serious neglect. An emergency worker who discovered the disturbing scene in the boy's bedroom at around 10 p.m. described him as being as emaciated to the point where he appeared mummified. His face had no visible flesh left, as she could see every bone in his face, records of the worker's encounter had said. He had black, necrotic sores on his face, and his left jaw had open sores so deep she could see his jawbone. There was nothing left of his stomach, as he was just so extraordinarily skinny. She estimated his waistline to be approximately 3 inches. He was dressed in a diaper and t-shirt. His eyes were open. He was not breathing. Allegedly, his parents refused Western medical treatment due to their religious beliefs. Her mother had reportedly told her church that the boy died during the night, but
but had miraculously come to life, even sitting up and blinking his eyes. But this was far from the truth. The autopsy performed on the boy also revealed that the boy was dead for 12 to 36 hours before 911 was contacted. When asked why they did not call 911 sooner, Emil claimed that his son had refused to go to the hospital. Nicolae Brancu, a Romanian Apostolic Church pastor, testified in court that he had indeed seen Emil in the church often but could not recall ever meeting Alex. On the night that he died, Brancu and a few church members visited the Redita residence, and upon finding the boy, Brancu testified that he knew immediately that the boy was dead. It was him who urged them to contact 911 immediately. They obliged, but only after contacting their family. Emil and Rhodesia were arrested in 2014 and were both charged with first-degree murder. They were sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 2017. On March 11th, 2018, a man in Ohio called 911 and asked for an ambulance for his 4-year-old daughter.
What do you need an ambulance for, sir?
Yes, my daughter's having a hard time breathing. She's breathing, but she's barely breathing.
Is she able to talk in complete sentences?
No, she can't. She's not talking in no complete sentences at all.
How old is she?
4. She had fell out, and we were just trying to see what's going on with her.
Is she conscious now?
Is she conscious? Yes, but she's not really breathing. She's not speaking. She's not responding to us.
Is she awake?
Her eyes are open. Yes.
But she's not really alert?
She's not saying anything or responding to our...
When I press down on her chest, she'll make a sound.
Okay. Well, don't press down on her chest, okay?
No, with 2 hands.
Does your daughter have a history?
Does she have a history of what?
Yeah, does she have a history of any breathing issues?
No.
What was she doing before this happened?
Well, she's been acting a little sick. We went to Red Lobster last week. I thought it was because of that, because she started acting weird. I thought it was like a stomach virus or something of what she ate or whatever. And I noticed as she's been at home, we started like feeding her, and she was just throwing everything up. So gave her ginger ale. She threw the ginger ale up. I gave her Tylenol. She spit that up.
Okay. When's the last time she ate or drank anything?
We tried to give her some breakfast in the morning, and she ate like a little bit of it, but it's like she kept chewing it. She was prolonged to chewing it for a long time.
All right, she's been having these flu-like symptoms for how long?
It started last Thursday when we came for her lobster. We noticed she started acting weird.
Since last Thursday?
Yes.
As in like a few days ago?
Yes.
Has she been running a fever?
She was a little hot, but then her body would like just be weird to turn cold.
What is your name?
Anaya, A-N-I-Y-A.
What's your last name?
Day, D-A-Y.
Did you guys try contacting the child's pediatrician?
Did we try?
Yeah, did you call her pediatrician when this started?
No, I actually just spoke to a 24-hour nurse.
Okay. What is she doing now?
Well, now I just got her sitting up. I tried to even do mouth to mouth.
Well, if she's breathing, you probably don't need to do CPR. Do you know what I'm saying?
Cause I put my fingers. I'm just trying to figure out what else can I do. Like I put my hands up to her nose to see if she was breathing, and I didn't feel no air coming out. Like she got her eye open.
Wait a minute, is she not breathing?
No.
Your child is not breathing?
No.
Okay, let's do CPR then.
That's what I'm trying to do. I didn't do my whole force 2 hands. I just two fingers basically is what I'm doing.
Okay, I want you to get her on a flat surface. Okay.
Okay, say it again.
All right, place your daughter flat on her back on the floor, okay?
Okay.
Kneel down near her chest.
You want her thumb on her back.
She is definitely not breathing, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Place the heel of your hand in the center of her chest.
Mm-hmm.
Put your other hand on top of the first hand. I want you to push down firmly on the chest at least 2 inches only to the heel of your hands. Okay? We're going to do it 30 times, just like you're pumping her chest, okay? You're going to count out loud with me. Are you ready?
Okay.
Keep going, okay? The squad just called that they're on scene. I need one of you guys to get up and go open the door. Okay?
Okay, down there now.
Is she still not breathing?
Yeah, she make a sound whenever we do that. Whenever we, you do the little pumping thing, she made a sound like a But then
Is she breathing? Check her nose. Somebody should still be pumping.
You feel cold air. She said she feel cold air coming out the nose.
There's cold air coming out of the nose?
Yes.
Okay, if she's got air coming out, is her chest rising up and down?
No.
Her chest is not. All right, keep pumping. Okay, if her chest isn't going up and down, I want you to keep going until the squad gets there to take over.
The paramedics are here now.
All right, let them take over, okay?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Responding fire department paramedics arrived at Cultural Garden Apartments in Euclid, Cleveland, just before 11:30 a.m. They found the little girl lying underneath an air conditioning unit inside the apartment. She was lifeless and unresponsive with a noticeable black eye. The child's skin was pale, and no cardiac activity could be detected. 4-year-old Anaya Day Garrett was taken to a nearby hospital, where she was pronounced dead. Although he identified himself as her father, the man who dialed 911 was 26-year-old Deontay Lewis, the boyfriend of Anaya's 23-year-old mother, Sierra Day. Day once again mentioned their visit to Red Lobster a few days before and told authorities that Anaya had been weak, sick, and not eating since that visit. However, it was immediately obvious to those who saw her body that the child had been suffering for a long time. Her small body was malnourished and covered in burns, cuts, and bruises, some new and some old. Paramedics later testified that she was so emaciated to the point that she was just skin and bones. Investigating detective Phil Shetter noticed a number of household cleaners on a counter inside the apartment and a strong smell of bleach. This and other evidence was taken from the home, and Anaya's death was quickly ruled a homicide. Euclid police arrested the mother and her boyfriend on suspicion of murdering the 4-year-old. They were both later indicted on charges of aggravated murder and taken into custody on a $1 million bond. Day told investigating officers that she heard a loud boom come from the bathroom and that when she went to see what had caused it, she said she saw her daughter lying on the floor. She said Anaya had then gotten up and tried to walk but stumbled and fell. A woman who lived in the same apartment complex posted online saying that some neighbors had called the police to the family's apartment due to domestic disturbances. She claimed that the child's belongings were discarded next to the dumpsters when the apartment was cleaned out. She noted that the clothes looked barely worn, and her toys were expensive but looked as if they hadn't been used. The neighbor wrote, "She had everything she needed except love inside that home. It broke my spirit for a very long time, and our community is still healing." Cuyahoga County Children and Family Services had investigated 3 reports about Anaya's well-being in 2017. Still, the agency claimed they found no reason at the time to remove the child from the home. When the medical examiner performed an autopsy, he saw a subdural hematoma, bleeding between the brain and skull, and a telltale sign of a sudden impact to the head. The doctor concluded that Anaya had suffered blunt trauma to her head, resulting in a stroke and her premature death. Day and Lewis were tried jointly. The mother's defense attorney argued that she hadn't purposefully or intentionally killed her daughter and highlighted the fact that Day's IQ is in the bottom 3 percentile and she suffers cognitive and learning difficulties. Is there a sinister motive in the things that she said and did? Day's defense asked the court, is there a sinister motive in how she acted and responded? Or is she just a young lady that operates in the bottom 3% of our population? Is she a young lady with such cognitive difficulties that she doesn't understand some of those things? Lewis's defense attorney attempted to place the blame solely on the child's mother. In her closing argument, she stated, "He didn't want this child to die.
That's why when he found her unresponsive, he called 911. He wanted to save her life. The prosecution called several witnesses to back up their argument that both defendants had abused Anaya and were responsible for her death. Day's sister testified that she had observed changes in her niece's appearance and behavior, and that things worsened when her sister began her relationship with Lewis.
She didn't really seem like a child. She was very standoffish. She really didn't. Seem happy.
After a while, she said, her niece's physical determination became more noticeable.
She was getting smaller. I thought maybe that just had something to do with her getting taller. You know, when you grow, toddlers grow, they slim out a little bit. She was getting littler and littler to the point you can see the extension of her stomach sticking out, so to speak.
Toward the end of 2017, the sisters fell out, and Day blocked her sister on social media. Concerned that her niece was being abused, she informed family services and contacted Anaya's biological father, Mikhail Garrett.
I told Michael that I felt like Anaya was being abused. Something wasn't right, that they were hiding her. She wasn't coming around a lot, and that we needed to do something to stop this. I told family service the same thing, that something was wrong with my sister. Something was going on with her. She needed help, and that they needed to get my niece out of that household.
Anaya's father also took the stand. He said he had also reported the abuse to Cuyahoga County Children and Family Services and had been in the process of trying to get sole custody of his daughter.
And protect our children and speak out, be that voice, and make sure it's heard. For the fathers out there that's still fighting to be in their children's lives, just always ensure that children's lives are always protected. And those who fail children's lives are always held accountable as well.
Anaya attended 2 daycare centers. A member of staff from Harbor Press Daycare Academy testified at trial.
So I let her sit on my lap. And then I said, "Does that hurt?" And she said, "Yeah." She said, "Mommy did it, but Mommy said I fell."
One day, the little girl was dropped off at daycare with a black eye.
"Sweetie, did you fall off the slide, off the swing? Like, what happened?" And she said, "Mommy pushed me." And I said, "Outside?" And she said, "Down some steps. Mommy pushed me."
When the daycare worker asked Day about this, the mother said her daughter was lying. On another occasion, a staff member noticed Anaya had facial injuries and dried blood in her ear. The worker demanded the daycare center call 911 and threatened to quit if nothing was done. The detective who had noticed the bottles of cleaner and also testified. He spoke of the apartment being very clean and mentioned finding wet towels in the bathroom. Police believed that Day and Lewis had cleaned up after Anaya was harmed and before they called 911. When called as a witness, a nurse told the jury, "My observations were the little girl was skin and bones. Her eyes were wide open. Her mouth was open. The nurse said Anaya was bruised, fragile, stiff, and cold." Deputy Medical Examiner Joseph Fellows' testimony was harrowing. He described the suffering the 4-year-old had endured at the hands of her abusers.
When I did the external examination, I'm looking for any signs of injuries or illnesses, and certainly the major illness that I see is malnourishment, as I stated those findings there. Her skin is very loose, and that's because she's lost the muscles and fat that make our skin more plump, and I can see her underlying bones. Looking for signs of injuries, she essentially has a very prominent black eye. She's got a bruise around her left eye, and it's a very prominent purple color, with a laceration, which is a tear caused by blunt trauma of her left upper eyelid. She also has a bruise on the right side of her forehead, And then she has some scattered abrasions on her left arm and as well as her back. There's also some areas where her skin has sloughed off. They were blisters at one time, and those are collected on her lower legs, on both the right and left lower legs and her feet. I documented everything externally.
The internal examination revealed further signs of the abuse Anaya had suffered.
Internally, she has, consistent with a loss of soft tissue, so she doesn't have much fat. Her muscles have somewhat wasted away. I noticed that she has some signs of shock. Shock being she's got hemorrhages of her skin around her right eye. Those are called petechial hemorrhages. It's as the body is slowly dying, which is shock. She gets small hemorrhages. There's also some collapsing of her lungs, meaning she's not taking deep breaths, and so the lungs are collapsing. And she's also developed some pancreatitis, which is inflammation of the pancreas. Because she's not eating as she should be, her pancreas is starting to digest itself because it secretes enzymes, which are chemicals to break down food. She also has developed some ulcers of her stomach, also because of shock for lack of food. Those were all in her torso. I didn't see any signs of infection, any signs of broken bones, any other reason for her malnourishment. But on the inside of her head, she has evidence of previous injuries. She's got the bruises I stated on the right side of her forehead. There's no injuries to the underlying skull. But on the surface of her brain, she has what's known as, she's got a healing blood clot. The medical term is a subdural hematoma, which is blood that has collected on the surface of the brain, but below the dura, which is a thin membrane that goes around the entire skull and spinal canal. Because of that hematoma or blood clot, it had pressed on the surface of the brain to cause her left side of her brain to have a stroke. So a stroke is dead brain tissue. And all of that had happened weeks to months prior to her death.
He said she didn't receive the injury and die. The impact to her head had happened 10 days to 2 weeks prior. In that time, the girl's lungs had been collapsing, and she had developed pancreatitis and stomach ulcers from the lack of blood. At just over 3 feet tall, Anaya weighed just 26 pounds and had a BMI of 11. After 5 days of testimony, the protection closed their case, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, Sierra Day failed miserably in the care of her only child. Deontay Lewis failed miserably as her stepfather, her father, her whatever title he gave himself, and he failed as a human being." After deliberating for just under a day, the jury returned their verdict.
On count 1, aggravated murder, we the jury in this case being duly impaneled sworn do find the defendant Sierra Day guilty of aggravated murder in violation of Revised Code 2903.01C of the Ohio Revised Code as charged in count 1 of the indictment, signed by all 12 jurors. Likewise, count 2, murder, guilty, signed by all 12 jurors. The further finding with respect to count 2 is guilty of felonious assault, permitting child abuse, endangering children as to the offense of violence under the murder B of count 2, signed by all 12 jurors. Count 3, guilty of felonious assault, signed by all 12 jurors. Count 5, endangering children, guilty, signed by all 12 jurors. Further finding that the defendant did cause serious physical harm to Anaya Day, signed by all 12 jurors. Count 6, endangering children, guilty, signed by all 12 jurors. Further finding the defendant did cause serious physical harm to Anaya Day, signed by all 12 jurors. Count 8, tampering with evidence, guilty, signed by all 12 jurors. count 7 as well, guilty of endangering children, signed by all 12 jurors. The further finding with respect to count 7, the defendant did cause serious physical harm to Anaya Day. With respect to defendant Lewis, count 1, we, the jury in this case, being duly and panel sworn, do find the defendant Deontay Lewis guilty of aggravated murder in violation of 2903.01c of the Ohio Revised Code. Count 2, murder B. Defendant is guilty, signed by all 12 jurors. With respect to the further finding of the offense of violence, he was guilty of felonious assault, signed by all 12 jurors. The further finding of permitting child abuse was guilty, signed by all 12 jurors. And endangering children is guilty, signed by all 12 jurors.
Day and Lewis were both sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. Following the verdict, Paul Grieco, Anaya's birth father's attorney, told the press that the verdict was just the first step in responsibility and accountability for Anaya's death and said, "The system failed Anaya and the Garrett family, and the system will be held accountable."
The changes that they're making, they talk about it, but we don't see any action being made behind it.
Investigations were started into Cuyahoga County Children and Family Services and the daycare centers Anaya attended. Cuyahoga County released a statement that read, "We know that we are expected to see and recognize patterns of abuse and neglect, and if the internal investigation determines we did something wrong, there will be discipline." Following their investigation, they announced changes would be made and pledged to hire additional staff.
There's more work to be done. Here with Cuyahoga County, with DCFS, with the Child Welfare Panel, there is more work to be done here in our community.
Get Ready, Set, Grow Child Care Center was found to be understaffed and that children in their care had been left unattended in a locked room. The center also failed to keep records of attendance. In 2019, Anaya's birth father filed a lawsuit claiming that inaction by Cuyahoga County Children and Family Services contributed to Anaya Day Garrett's murder. Cuyahoga County Council didn't contest this and unanimously approved a settlement of $3 million. In January 2017, Bareas, Charles Dowdy, and Danielle Simcoe, both 31 years old, were arrested by police after their 8-year-old son overdosed on heroin that had allegedly been hidden inside one of his toys.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
What's the address, babe?
144 Milton.
144 Milton.
Okay, what's going on there?
For some reason, my son's not breathing.
How old is he?
He's 7. Babe, I don't think he's breathing.
7 years old, not breathing, in Berea. 144 Milton
Yes,
Street.
please hurry.
Okay, stay on the phone with me, okay?
Please hurry.
Do you guys want to do CPR?
Yes.
Okay, do you know how to do it, or do you need me to give you directions?
No, he isn't, babe. He's not breathing. Move.
I got him.
Hold on, I'm going to put you on speaker. Hold on.
Okay. Hello? 911.
Yes, I just called. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Is he not breathing for sure?
Yes, he's not breathing.
Okay, you want to start CPR?
Yes.
Okay. Is he choking on anything?
Oh, I think he was sleeping, and I think what happened is he rolled over, and I don't think he could breathe. I think he was, like, in the pillow, and he was, like, suffocated.
Okay, can you get him flat on his back on the floor or on a hard surface?
On a hard surface on the floor?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, put the heel of your hand on the center of his chest, right between his nipples.
Okay.
And then put your other hand on top of that and push down hard and fast, at least 2 inches in depth.
Okay.
And just keep doing that. Try to pump twice every second for at least 100 compressions per minute. Is he making any kind of noise?
Yes.
He is?
Yeah.
Okay, put your face down to his mouth and see if he's breathing.
No.
What kind of noise is he making?
Just making like
Is it? I'm sorry, like a what noise?
a huffing noise.
Does he kind of sound like he's gurgling?
Yeah.
Okay, keep doing the compressions. And if you get tired, if there's somebody there that can take over when you get tired, but just keep doing it. The squad should be there any minute.
Open the door. They're here, ma'am.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hang up. Keep doing it until they walk in, okay? All right, bye-bye.
Charles Dowdy begged 911 to hurry to his son's aid after he had stopped breathing. The child was immediately rushed to Southwest General Medical Center, where he was resuscitated. A urine test soon revealed heroin, Xanax, and fentanyl in his system. And medics found prescription pills as well as heroin in the child's sock. Police found used needles and syringes in the home and believed both parents were high when they spoke with them at the hospital while their child was undergoing treatment. Upon interrogation, Dowdy confessed to using drugs earlier that day, and the couple was arrested at the hospital and charged with possession of drugs and child endangerment. They were held on a $150,000 bond and were forbidden to contact their child. In recent years, opiate addiction in Ohio and all of America has skyrocketed. A neighbor who has chosen to remain anonymous believes that this incident marks a new rock bottom for this drug epidemic. Absolutely horrible, the whole epidemic thing, he stated. It's just way out of hand and it's hitting awful close to home now. Real close to home. We live on the same street. It's devastating to hear. The 8-year-old was placed into the custody of his grandparents, and according to neighbors, he appears to be doing well. If you want more compilations like this, let me know in the comments. For more True 911, watch this episode next.